starting line. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it, baby. It's time for some rubber league. Massive game. Oh my gosh, is it a massive game here? Gee whiz. Hey guys, how you going today on BKRsport? Oh my gosh, when I think about a game, when I think about a battle of the juggernauts, I'm thinking this game right here. The St George Illawarra Dragons. Oh my dearie me. Nate, get fired up, because the Dragons, they're a brilliant watch this year. And the Dolphins, well, they actually can be a pretty good watch at times. So, look, ultimately, we've got the St George Illawarra Dragons taking on the Dolphins here today, and it is going to be hopefully a better game than what we witnessed last night, where the Sydney Roosters did obviously win 82 points to 12, which is the highest blowout score. Well, actually, it's not the biggest margin score in recent years. That would actually go to the Cowboys, 74-0 over the Tigers. But it's the largest conceded score since 1935. So hopefully we get a little bit more of a competitive matchup here today, where at the very least, the team in 17th hopefully doesn't concede 82. But is it in the cards still? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it wouldn't actually greatly surprise me if we saw the record broken last night and then we go and see it broken even more so today, but hopefully not. Let's get into this game and let's see how it is all panning out. We'll go into I've already gone through the round that was. Obviously, later on tonight, guys, we've got actually a really genuinely big game, which is the Melbourne Storm versus the Bulldogs. That's going to be a really, really good game. Hopefully, it's got a lot going on about it at the very least. So that is tonight. But in terms of this game here today, we'll go through the team lineups. We'll get into how they've been going. We'll get into the ladder, and then we'll see what you are saying in the chat. So do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new around here. Let's get it rocking and rolling. So, the St George Illawarra Dragons, they are 17th, and they play host to the Redcliffe Dolphins, who are in 5th, and this is at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. The ins for the Dragons, Moses Sully. The out is Matty Fine, with the wingers, the fullback being Clint Gutherson. I love that Matty Fine is out when I put him in the thumbnail. You know, it's brilliant. I always love doing that. I love that. So Matty Fine is in the thumbnail, and yet he's not even playing here today. So the fullback is Clint Gutherson, with the wingers being Setu Tu and Tyrell Sloan. Centers are Valentine Holmes and Moses Sully. 5'8", Lycan King Tagia, with the halfback being Kyle Flanagan. Front row forwards are Loco Jr. Pacific Tonga and Toby Couchman, with the number 9 being Damien Cook, who is the captain. And the back row, Dylan Egan, Hamish Stewart, with the 13 being Ryan Couchman. Interchange of Daniel Atkinson, Jacob Little, Lucian Leilua, Josh Kerr, Jacob Halangahu, and Emre Gula, with the coach being Dean Young. Look, this Dragons team, they were playing better football. You know, they really were, where obviously, you know, they went and competed, you know, at least well with the Warriors, where they lost to 20-12 and it was controversial. You know, they went and beat the Tigers 24-10. But there's just no beating the top of the table down by Gold Coast Titans when they lost 38-18 there. You know, it wasn't a great game by the Dragons. Their right side defense was just deplorable, and Dragons fans were super hyped that they could definitely go and win that game down there in Kogarah, where the Titans never seemed to win. But yet the Dragons still found a way to lose that one, and they lost it well. Now, that's a testament to how well the Titans have been playing recently as well. However, you know, the Dragons have been playing better since about round 11, which was Magic Round against the Panthers, and they still lost that game by 22 points. But since that moment, they had been playing a lot better. They weren't winning a great deal of games, but at least they beat the Broncos, at least they beat the Tigers, and at least they competed heavily against quite a few of those other teams. But ultimately, for the Dragons, look, they are going to win the wooden spoon here. I'm not telling Dragons fans anything new. You know, you shouldn't really be getting upset at anybody talking about it, because ultimately you should have come to terms with it by now. You know, the Dragons currently sit in last place with 2 wins. You know, the team in second last has 7 wins, and the teams just above that in 15th, 14th, and 13th all have 6 wins. So at a minimum, you need to win 4 more games than at least one of those teams. But again, your points differential is minus 267, whilst those guys are at the very least 120 above you. It goes to the Tigers at minus 208, who are the closest, but again, they've got an extra win. So, like, you really should have come to terms with it, especially when you've got the Dolphins here, top 8 team, you know, need to set a statement after we've seen the Sharks and the Roosters set a statement. Then they play the Sharks, who are the form team of the competition right now. People will look at the Roosters, who won, you know, 82 points to 12 last night, but also the form team is still the Sharks. It's just the Roosters hit back on that statement win that the Sharks made last week against Manly. So that's 2 really difficult games here for the Dragons just to get a win. And then They've got 4 games the rest of the season. After that, they play the Tigers, winnable. They play the Bulldogs. Good luck when they're playing as well as they are and fighting for the 8. Manly away. They're fighting for the 8, and the Eels. There are 3 at the very least 2 very winnable games there of the Tigers and also the Eels. But, there's a reason why they're down where they are. And you wouldn't be expecting to be jumping out of last place this year, unfortunately. And it ultimately is deserved, I always say. And I would have said this if the Titans had won the spoon. I always say, if you come last, or you come 9th, or you come 1st, or you come 2nd, it doesn't matter. Wherever you finish at the end of 27 rounds, you deserve to finish there. It is 27 rounds. You've got teams having ups, you've got teams having downs, you've got teams having injuries, you've got teams, going through healthy periods. You've got origin, you've got no origin, you've got this, you've got that. There is excuses galore everywhere, and there is no excuses galore everywhere. The point of the matter is across 27 rounds, you are going to see how well your team genuinely is across the competition. And in 2026, unfortunately, you are going to win your first wooden spoon, and it is deserved this year. But you should be focusing on next year, because next year you have signed Luke Metcalf, you've got Clint Gutherson, you've got Scott Drinkwater, who is major concerns, but Dragons fans can sell themselves a dream. You've got Phil Sami, you've got Keon Kalamatangi, you've got Connor Watson, you've got a bunch of guys coming across that, is exciting. But it's still not great defensively. But it is exciting attacking-wise and is much better than what you've got right now. So whilst there are concerns that I'm going to speak about and other people are going to speak about, you've got to focus on the positives and say, well, this team's going to do well next year. I think people are going to get overhyped in regards to them. But I don't think they'll come last next year because they do have enough attack. They are basically, I guarantee you'll see this on NRL socials coming soon. People might not be talking about it now, but they will be talking about it eventually. This Dragons team next year is probably going to be like what this Dolphins team was last year and the year beforehand, where they would score a lot of points, but they'll also concede a lot. You watch. I'm telling you, the narrative will change. The narrative will be spoken about where this Dragons team next year will be what the Dolphins have been the last couple of years. But the positive to that is that Dolphins team was still competing for the top 8. They were still around the 9, the 10, the 11, the 12 range rather than the 17th spot the entirety of the season. So I think you'll take that, and that is a positive, and then obviously you try to build from there under Dean Young. But I genuinely believe this team next year will be what this team has been for a couple of years now. Again, it is a positive in comparison to what we have seen so far. Now let's move over to the Dolphins, where their ins is Isaiah Katoa, Jack Bostock, and Ray Stone, with the outs being Sebastian Sua, Tavita Nafahu, and John Finianganofo. The fullback is Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, with the wingers being Jermaine Asako and Selwyn Cobbo, centers of Jack Bostock and Herbie Farnworth. The 5'8" is Cody Nikarima, with the halfback being Isaiah Katoa, who is the captain. Massive return there. The front rowers are Thomas Flegler and Francis Molo, with the number 9 being Jeremy Marshall-King. Back row of Kinelli Lamuelu and Kulakefu Finafiwiaki, with the 13 being Morgan Knowles. Then you go to the interchange of Bradley Schneider, Kurt Donahue, Max Plath, Tom Gilbert, Felice Kafusi, and Ray Stone. And the coach is Christian Wolf. This Dolphins team should be winning this game. They should be winning this game 13+, and ultimately, they should be just getting the 2 more wins for the rest of the season. Their run home is quite soft. They only need to get 13 wins, and they're at 11 wins right now. If they lose this game, I'll start to genuinely worry about them. But ultimately, they should be making the finals for the first time in their history this year, because they adjusted their game plan. They adjusted the structure of who they are as a club. They're not like the team I was just speaking about with the Dragons for next year. They are a team that usually will earn their right to attack. You might not see them blow this game away early. You may as well, but you might not see the Dragons get blown away early by the Dolphins here, but you will probably see them get blown away throughout the rest of the game, and especially in that last 40, the second half, where the Dolphins usually come home like a train, the Dragons usually fall off a cliff, which is what you see quite regularly from them. You saw it last week against the Titans too. So I'd fully expect that the Dolphins are going to win this game 13+, and especially with Isaiah Katoa coming back into the team. Nick Rima, also a great signing for the Dragons. So he's playing against his future club today. He's playing against them. He'll be there next year alongside Luke Metcalf in the halves. And they've got just so much speed, man. The Dragons, if there is something that the Dragons lack, it is absolutely speed. And I was speaking about this last week on the Dragons podcast, the Mad Dragons vodcast, where they invited me on to talk about the Titans team, obviously, and I said, if there's one really big negative that the Dragons show right now is that, one, there's a lot of lack of X factor, but 2, there's a lot of lack of X factor because there is no speed in this team. And you're talking to You're talking about taking on a Dolphins team. They got obliterated speed-wise by the Titans, and this Dolphins team is much faster than them. Hamiso, Jermaine, Jack Bostock, Javi Farnworth, Selwyn Cubbo. My goodness me, that 1-3-5 speed-wise should obliterate that back five of the Dragons. That 1-3-5 should obliterate. And if Asai Katoa can get even a mediocre game going here, they should absolutely run a riot here. The way that they play, and Cody Nicarima showing what he can provide against his future team. And this forward pack here for the Dolphins, Lemuelu and Finifuiaki have had great seasons, especially Finifuiaki, but Lemuelu could easily turn up here and have an absolute rocker game. I'm going to back him in for a try. You know, they've got a great team here, the Dolphins, but they're just not consistent. But they're going up against a team here today where their season is done, and whilst they may slightly believe they can avoid the spoon still, it's not going to happen, but their season is done, so now you have to really just dig. Like, you need to show your season's not over here, Dolphins, and you need to set a statement like this team did in the Sharks and like this team did in the Roosters. These two teams still need to set a statement. You know, so Dolphins, you've got to set a statement here today. And you should be winning this game well against a team that is not playing for anything, but also teams that aren't playing for anything can play a lot better on the basis that they can play a lot more free-flowing footy. But this Dolphins team, they should be too good here today, despite the fact they've been slipping up a lot more recently. You know, where they did lose to the Knights 13-12. They lost to the Sharks 66-0. Geez, some of the blowout scores we've been seeing recently are insane. At least they got back to winning ways against the Cowboys 36-16, but does that prove a great deal? Had the bye, now they play the Dragons. Now they've got the Broncos next week in Indigenous round, and then the second round of Indigenous round against Manly away. Then they play the Eels, the Roosters, great game that one, and then the Titans away. They only need 2 more wins this season. You should be expecting a win here today. And you probably should be expecting a win against the Broncos next week. You should probably be expecting a win against Manly, but that might be tougher. You should expect a win against the Eels. Roosters, tough one. And then Titans will be tricky, but you should still be expecting. This is why it's a soft run home. It doesn't do them well for the finals, but at the very least, we'll get them into the finals. You know, there's no way, there's no world that they situate themselves down here. They shouldn't be. There is every possibility they could situate themselves in this top 4. But that doesn't mean that I think they win the comp. I don't think this team is even close to winning the comp right now. I think you'd be looking at this team, you'd be looking at this team, or you'd be looking at, obviously, the Panthers up the top. But the point of the matter is that they just want to make the finals because they haven't made the finals in their history so far. And I think that they should be situated based off of their run home. The Sharks have an easier schedule at home, to be fair. These two teams should ultimately, based off of their run home, should be in these two spots. With the Roosters maybe going down to 4th and the Warriors maybe going down to 5th. And that's not me insulting saying the Warriors aren't as good as these two teams. And that's not me saying the Roosters aren't as good as these two teams, because the Roosters could definitely still win enough games, and so could the Warriors. It could stay this way, but with the 2 draws that these two teams have, they shouldn't be basically losing a game for the rest of the season. You know, why is there balloons popping up on a damn well screen? I don't know what just happened just then. But these two teams should not be losing a game for the rest of the season, except for maybe the Roosters here for the Dolphins, and I can't remember the Sharks one. There may be a tough game throughout. But overall, as we currently speak, these guys should go bang. And look, if the Dolphins win today, obviously we'll take them off fraud alert. The fraud alert was there for a while for legitimate reasons. Especially, it was after the 66-0 loss to the Sharkies. But overall, I'm taking the Dolphins 13+ here today. I think they need to make a statement, and the Dragon season is essentially done. So, you know, what are we really expecting from them? But let's move now into the ladder, where we look at the Dragons. Obviously, they're in 17th position on 10 points with 2 wins. They're 4 wins behind the Eels, the Broncos, and the Titans, and they're 5 wins behind the West Tigers, who are in 16th. But the Dragons, minus 267 points differential. Win or lose, they will be in last place. A loss, it just continues to keep on hammering in that nail. It just keeps on hammering in that nail. But with a win, you know, it gives them a little bit of a sniff, but it's just the minus 86 for the Titans, Broncos minus 132, Eels minus 182. Yes, the Tigers are minus 208, but they're also an extra win away of 5 wins, and it's just all but confirmed, right? But I guess a win will give them a sniff, but they'll still be in 17th place and on 3 wins for the season. They've already had all 3 of their buys, whilst the Tigers have not. Now, on the other side of the table, the Dolphins, they are in 5th position on 28 points and 11 wins. They've got a plus 84 points differential, which is pretty solid. It's not amazing, but it's still pretty solid here. The Oh, why has the Roosters not been updated here? Hold on 1 second. It didn't update. Yeah, there we go. The ladder wasn't updated for me because it still had the Roosters at plus 85. So it's okay. It's actually well deserving of where they are. Now, Manly are plus 90, but they're in ninth. But the Dolphins on plus 84 is, out of the top 8 teams anyway, the 5th best points differential. So it makes sense that they're in 5th there. But they're on 28 points. If they win this game, well, the Sharks are on 30 and the Warriors are on 30. But the Sharks have a plus 161. Albeit because of the 66-0 drubbing of the Dolphins, and the Warriors have a plus 190. So Dolphins with a win would have to win by about 80 points to go above the Sharks, or an 80-point swing. It's just not happening. So it would have to win by more than the Roosters won by last night, or win by 60 and the Sharks lose by 20, but they're taking on a Rabbitohs team that... Oh, look, I'm not going to say anything about that game because that could easily have Sharks losing written all over the wall on that one. But look, Dolphins with a win would stay in 5th position. They just simply would. I don't see them going up into the top 4. But with a loss here, gets a little bit more tacky because the Rabbitohs are on 26 points, the Knights are on 26 points, and Cowboys are on 26 points. Now, Manly are on 24, add the bye, but the Bulldogs can also go up to 26 points as well with a win today against the Storm later on today. But the Dolphins with a plus 84, they have got it better than the Rabbitohs, plus 78, but not by much. Plus 36 of the Knights, minus 98 of the Cowboys. Yikes, dude. Yikes, that's a top 8 team. Nice. We're trying to get it back on. I think we're back on now, lads. I think we're back on now. Sorry, that was just an absolute shambles, bro. That was an absolute shambles. But we are back. Alrighty. Well, you guys are going to have to refresh your stream so that you are live because it will probably be stuck from ages before. The game starts in 10 minutes' time. I don't know when that stopped for when the preview would have ended for you, as in like I was previewing the game and the ladder and all that type of stuff. I don't know when that would have stopped for you. So, what do you mean no audio though? What do you mean no audio? I can see the audio is there. Refresh the stream. Refresh your stream. And then comment and say that we are smooth here, guys, because, unfortunately, the entire internet just cut out, and at least it's back now, though. What do you mean he's trolling? I'm not trolling. Audio is great. Oh, okay. Yeah, smooth. Okay, sweet. Sorry, guys. Tell me how many fingers I'm holding up, just so I know how far behind you are on the stream. Yeah, there is audio. Okay, yeah, Brenton is drunk. He is drunk. He is drunk, that bloke. But anyway, guys, okay, not too far behind. Yeah, Jake with 20 shows me the Newcastle education system. So, basically, I don't know how much he got, but I said Dolphins 13 plus, Dragon season done, essentially. And basically, that Dolphins with a win would stay 5th, but Dolphins with a loss... Well, actually, no, I just gotten up to that point. So, the Dolphins with a loss here... If they lose and the Rabbitohs win, they'll essentially go below the Rabbitohs. And also the Knights could, with a decent enough win against the Broncos, could go above the Dolphins, but I doubt it. And obviously the Cowboys are a shambles. So Dolphins with a loss probably do finish in 5th still. Could probably have the Sharkies to beat the Rabbitohs. But yeah, it would still be quite up in the air. In regards to try scorers, I think Selwyn Cobbo is a guarantee here. Selwyn Cobbo should have a field day in this game. And then in the back row, I'll go Canelli Lemuelu for the Dolphins. And then for the Dragons, I will say, gee whiz, I'll go Setu 2. I will. It's hard to pick one out for the Dragons today, but I'll go Setu 2. And then for the Dragons forwards, I'll back in a Toby Couchman. But, like, there's no one really here in the forwards that I'm truly excited about in terms of, like, a scoring ability in this game here today. Noah Sarko, well, sure, but like I only back in one backline player and one forward pack player, and I'm going Cobbo or a Sarko, it doesn't really matter, but I think Cobbo could have a field day here today. I think Cobbo could absolutely have a field day against guys like either Setu 2 or Tyrell Sloan. I'm not too sure what wing he's on today, but either way, I think Selwyn Cobbo should have a field day, an absolute field day. Atkinson got dropped too. He did, yes. Kick Noxie out. Muppet. Absolute Muppet. Love the Penguins logo. Yeah, Antarctican Penguins going all right. They're in 8th position. The old Antarctican Penguins, they are on fire at the moment. They are on absolutely fire. We had to, unfortunately, boot the Cowboys out of the competition after yesterday's deplorable result. And the Penguins in their first ever season, they're in the top 8. Unbelievable stuff. I hope the Dragons compete to another NBA score. It'd be nice. It will be nice. No way Dragons will be top 8 next year. Will take time to gel. Agree, but also it's like their team's not exactly young next year in terms of some of the signings they're making. They're not exactly extremely young. Heard Dragons signing Alamotti. Is that done? Not sure, but that'd be interesting signing. Chopper says Cubbo was getting bagged out for his cousin doing criminal activities on the news. Cool. What has that got to do with anything? Saw the result later on yesterday. Geez, what was that all about? That was all about, mate. Fun fact is you got to be back in the hammer for a try. No, I don't have to. I know it's an obvious pick, but it's an obvious pick for a good reason. No, I'm going Selwyn Cubbo. No, I don't have to at all. No. Mega Dogs is the Penguins. Yeah, done all right. O&G Brisbane says, doing my Chim Sash, we'll be watching. Jake says, Titans and Penguins the only teams to never lose a game. No, the Penguins have lost a game. No, they have. They lost to the Titans. Yeah, no, they lost to the Titans, mate. Yeah, no, they did. They did. But, look, I'm just looking forward to hopefully a better game here today. That's all I want. And I know it's probably not going to be because it is Dolphins versus the Dragons. It is a game that should just genuinely be a blowout here of epic proportions. But, yesterday scarred me, let alone how it probably did Cowboys fans in. Cowboys fans, how'd you sleep last night? I don't know. Can you imagine if the Titans lost by that much? Our biggest ever scoreline loss was like 58-18 against the Roosters or something like that. And this was quite a few years ago, like 2019, when we won the Spoon. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I would survive online. I don't know if I would survive online with the Titans losing by 82 points to 12. I don't think so. I'd be done. I'd be absolutely rock and rolled here on this stream. I would be absolutely schmackamundost on social media, and that terrifies me. So, Titans, please. We've never given up a 60 slammer. We've never given up a sexy 70, and please keep it that way. Please. I'm begging you to keep it that way. David says that Penguins logo looks like an eagle. Penguins have straight beaks. Look at Mr. Fun at parties over here. Oh my gosh, have a listen to yourself, David. We really complain about how the damn well Penguin looks. We really complain about how damn well Penguin looks here, champion. My goodness me. Look at Mr. Fun at parties over here. Kiwi London says, g'day lads from Bintan, Indonesia. Get around here. Let's have another score fest. Yeah, I'm still here in Kazakhstan. Look at the beautiful mountains here in Almaty. And then on Monday, I'll be heading into the mountains, which is going to be awesome. And I don't know where I'm going to go in a couple of weeks' time. Might head off to Kyrgyzstan, might go somewhere else. I'm not too sure. Daniel Bay says, my giddy aunt, I thought. What are you talking about? Jake says, the game last night shows that a 100-point game is still possible. A 100-point game is 100% possible. The Roosters didn't score for 20 minutes last night. That game, if they had have scored, if they didn't lose Tedesco at halftime, they 100% score 100. 1,000,000% score 100 if they had Tedesco in the second half. Because they didn't score from the 43rd minute until dead set 17 minutes to go mark, and then they just absolutely obliterated them in the final 20. They dead set didn't score for a whole period there. It's only 3 converted tries to get to 100. 1,000,000%, a 100-point score is actually very doable. It's not very doable is not the great words to use, but it is achievable is the word. It is an achievable scoreline. Yeah. Francois says, hi mate from South Africa. Get around you in South Africa. Get around you over there. Penguin logo's great. Penguin logo's fantastic, Dave. It's just a Muppet. Crossbreed penguin with an eagle. Well, look, they're right next to each other. Listen here, Mr. Fun at Parties. Why don't you just look at the fact that we've got a new team at a competition and just be excited to play, fresh meat here, son, instead of complaining about what a damn well penguin's beak looks like. Deary me. Who's reffing? I know Ziggy's reffing on the sideline, though. Fire him up. That you can't see who the actual ref is, so I feel like this ref is the new ref. So Grant Atkins is the bunker, They've got Ziggy and Dave Munro on the touchies, so nothing to be done there. I'm assuming it's going to be the new ref because he's not here, and it's also a game that has no relevance on really anything. Penguins are a genuine threat for this season. Look, no, really, no, like it shouldn't be the case. Anyway, the game is about to start here. The Dolphins are out in the field. Dragons about to come out. Look, they shouldn't be. You know, we all know who's already won the competition, and it's the team on top of the table. You know what I mean? Like, it's just simple as that. You watch, they'll make a statement against the Warriors, all right? They'll make a statement. Jake says maybe we'll see it in the next 90 years. With the way that rugby league is nowadays, like again, we watched a 66-0 drubbing of a top 4 team at the time about 3 weeks ago. With the way rugby league is nowadays, we've seen a 72-10 win for the Roosters over the Tigers a few years ago. We've seen a Cowboys 74-0 win over the Tigers a few years ago. We've seen an 82-12 win with the Roosters over the Cowboys last night. We've seen 66-6 Titans Warriors, 66-0 Sharks Dolphins. We've seen so many of these massive scores recently. I would not be surprised if we do see a team click past 100 in our lifetime. Yeah. And this is why I've said for a few years, for a little bit now, the way that the game goes, the way the game is, I genuinely would not be surprised if in the next 2, 3, maybe 4 years, we see the first team to ever win the comp after conceding 50 in the season. I genuinely believe it will happen. But anyway, the game has started here, and it's second tackle for the Dragons at their own 15. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. If anybody disagrees with me, please let me know why. That 48 in the first half was the equal highest first half score ever. Really? 48 was Storm Eels last year. Oh, no, that's how the game finished. Oh, it could have been 48 last year, Storm Eels. Round 1, Jason, am I right there? That's not me having a crack at you. I know you're an Eels fan, but like, was that right? 48 points in halftime, or was it 48 points at the end of the game? No, Storm definitely hit 50. I can't remember. But it will be Selwyn Cubbo who grabs it, and he is going to bring this ball out now to the 35. You do get really nervous for the Dragons this game. Like, if it goes the Dolphins' way early, yikes. Big yikes. Storm versus Eels was 48-6 halftime. Thank you, Jake. Yeah. Like I said, Jason, not having a crack of the Eels there. Or am I? But no, I did remember that game last year. Momentum can be killing rugby league. It happens. No, 82-12 does not happen. No, that's not true. 82-12 does not happen. It did happen last night, but it doesn't happen. It's plural. There's no plural. It's the first time since 1935 we saw that. They go to the right-hand side of Sakatoa. He will bring this ball to the 40 on fit tackle now. Chris Sheridan says, Titans-Penguins grand final is going to be the best thing since 66-6, mate. That really gets you going, doesn't it? It really gets you going. Dolphins catch it. Jack Bostock, he will get taken down to the 20. And Dragons ball. Matandre says, sub 13 plus. Yeah, I think Dolphins should win this game 13 plus. If they're a serious business team, they should be winning this game 13 plus, of course. First tackle here for the Dragons. Now second at 30 on the wrong side of the field. Snaky Game says, with how Tigers are going, I see them strong contenders for a horny hunch. Yeah, but the Cowboys have been around this area too. Look at the 66-18. The Tigers beat the Cowboys by the same year the Cowboys beat the Tigers 74-0. Like, there's a few teams. I'm just impressed, considering how bad the Titans have been throughout our history. We've never given up 60. I'm actually relatively impressed by that. That's an awful stat to be impressed by, but like at the end of the day, at least we haven't been that bad. like we've been bad, but at very least we haven't been that bad. So go to the left, and Jack Bostock now, he'll get taken down to the 10 on second tackle. It says Bulldogs in rounds 5 and 6 in 1935 were on a generational run. Yeah, those two results where the Dragons hit 91 and East hit 87 back in 1935 were against the Bulldogs, and they were in consecutive weeks, by the way. Selwyn Cubbo will bring this ball to the 28 on fourth tackle. And now they'll get this ball up here to the 35 on fifth tackle. Not an amazing start in this first 3 minutes, but like I said, the Dolphins do not start off games red hot. They work into the game. They work into the game well. Bailey said, I think if it keeps going this way, next decade could see a team reach 100. Yeah, well, we've just been speaking about that, and I agree. Again, we could have seen 100 last night if the Roosters didn't lose Tedesco at halftime and they were clicked on to start the second half. You know, usually we'll see a scoreline like what we saw last night in the first half stick around that point. Like when it was 48 at halftime, you'd probably expect that game to finish off at around 54-60 kind of deal, because the team will just score a couple of tries and whatever. After the first 20 minutes of the second half, it looked like that was going to be the case. And then obviously the Roosters clicked into gear in that last 20. But yeah, usually you don't see a team really going with it. But geez, if they had lost by 100, I don't know if the Cowboys ever come back from that. Carl Flanagan underneath and lock up Junior Pacific Tonga. Fit tackle of 35 for the Dragons. Yeah, we spoke about that already, Jake. So they'll kick this ball away. And they also lost that season 74-0 right a few weeks after. And someone Cubbo gets away from the tackle, and he'll be taking down the 10 on first tackle now. Yeah, 46-6 at Eels vs Storm last year. Just looked it up. Okay, close enough. Herbie Farnworth brings this ball to the 20 on second tackle. But the person I'm going up against in Supercoach draft actually captained James Tedesco last night. So he's still got like 110 or whatever it was. But he went off at half-time. I would have 100% lost that matchup if he had to stay on the field. So I'm really great. Well, like, again, I'm not grateful he got injured, because God bless him. I hope he's okay. You always want to see the best players out there on the field at all times. But with that being said, it really benefited my Supercoach draft that he was out. Nicarima, short ball now. Lemuelu, they're away here, they're away here, they're away here, they're away here, they're away here. Hamisa's going to score. Hamisa's going to score. Hamisa Tabuapado will score a try for the Dolphins. And it's 4-0 with a kick to come. Out of absolutely nothing, the Dolphins have scored 4-0 with a kick to come. And guys, if you thought this was going to be a close game, you're probably off your head, son. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was a really nice offload there from Lemuelu for the line break there for Cody Nicarima. And then, yeah, Hamiso, as soon as he gets that ball there, you know he's going to score. So 4-0 with a kick to come, and it's about to be 6-0 because it goes onto the post as well. Onto the post as well. Rexus, what was the commentary from the coach of the Cowboys after the game? He had to be embarrassed and apologise to the fans. I hope so. I don't know. Todd Payton doesn't like to take accountability. Was re-signed as a coach the next couple of years for 2 years, 2 weeks ago. I've said for ages now, and you guys know this, like, Todd Payton is a scam. Like, he's exactly like Adam O'Brien to me. I've said this for years now. Todd Payton and Adam O'Brien are the two, well, they're a couple of musketeers anyway. Who's the third musketeer? I guess Shane Flanagan was, but the point of the matter is that Todd Payton has never actually done anything for the Cowboys. Never actually done anything for the Cowboys. He has done exactly what Adam O'Brien did for the Newcastle Knights. And the Cowboys will never progress under Todd Payton. They will never win a comp under Todd Payton. Anthony Seibold was the same thing. Why has he been now signed by fucking Papua New Guinea? Papua New Guinea signing Anthony Seibold as an assistant coach is the most mind-blowing thing ever. Like, it is mind-blowing that these people continue to get jobs. How is Anthony Seibold, after his tenure at the Broncos and his tenure at Manly, still getting a job? It actually amazes me, and it grinds my gears, because I want to see Papua New Guinea do well. How the fuck is Anthony Seibold getting a job at Papua New Guinea? That is actually insane. Even like Adam O'Brien, I can make an argument for why he signed with the Bulldogs. I can make the argument, and I can say, okay, I can get why you've done that. I don't agree with it, but I can get why you've done that. Anthony Seibold has a losing historical history with the clubs that he is a part of. How has Papua New Guinea signed him to be an assistant coach of their club? It is amazing. Tiger with the $2 donation. Get around your Tiger, says Hamisa, try scorer. Too easy, son. Too easy. Get around you for the donor. Appreciate you. Yeah, but the point is that I went on a rant there because I had this same visceral reaction to Anthony Seibold signing for Manly at the start as well. Oh, dude, it's just infuriating. It's infuriating how these people can continue to get jobs even though they are proven to be unsuccessful at what they do. Lemuelu gets his ball to the 40 on 4 tackle. Clutch with the Penguins. We had to get rid of the Cowboys after last night. That's Antarctica, mate. Home base in Antarctica. They're a tough team to play away against, that's for sure. Definitely tougher to play away than the Cowboys are to play at home. And I'll kick that ball up here. And the Dragons will get taken down here at the 20 on first tackle. Can anybody here bring a legitimate argument to the table that would tell me I'm wrong in regards to Anthony Seibold? Is there anybody here? And like, don't feel ashamed or don't feel like worried to bring it up. I genuinely want to see if anybody can defend that signing. Dragons going to take a quick... No, they're going to call it back. Well, I don't know why the Dragons aren't allowed to take a quick tap there. They got a penalty. The thing I find crazy is Papua New Guinea will have Luai and Lomax in their squad and maybe Munster to talk about a clash of egos. Yeah, they're getting a lot of really high-class egos in the team. Sigma says, Cowboys got sent to the re-education camps after that abysmal historical performance. That is true. Oh, Couchman is slightly in front of him. Yeah, that is the correct call. Otherwise, Damo Cook would have been completely away. Completely away. I've heard the Dragons want to move on Flanagan and Atkinson. Of course I do. Do you think they could end up in England? Yep, absolutely. Of course I do. They've got Luke Metcalf and Nick Rima coming in next year. What's the need for Flanagan and Atkinson? Atkinson's an odd one because this is his first signing, his first year with the Dragons. Flanagan's obvious. Flanagan could kill it in England. He really could, but Atkinson, it's like you've signed him for 1 year, hasn't necessarily worked out, but why wouldn't you have him next year? I disagree. I don't think Atkinson's been good at all for the Dragons, and I thought he was going to be much better than he has been, but I don't think he's been good at all for the Drags, and it's been sad to see. But Flanagan makes a lot of sense, and I think you probably should keep Atkinson, though. Seabold never conceded 80, Gray's coach of all time, Mitchell said. No, but he's conceded plenty of massive scorelines. That's going to be Dragons with the knock-on, and the Dolphins are going to get this ball at the 40. If Cobber had to pick that ball up there, he would have ran away for a try. They could have done worse than signed Stephen Kearney. I promise you Stephen Kearney is a better signing than Anthony Seabold. I promise you. Oh, if Selwyn Cobber gets that, he is away and scores. I think Seabold is a better coach than Stephen Kearney. Kearney was bad at the Eels and possibly worse at the Warriors. So I disagree. I think Seabold is one of the worst coaches I've ever witnessed in my life. Gary says, I honestly thought Seabold was going to come to the Super League. God help you. God help you. So anyway, Dolphins now will be at the 40 on their own side of the field. 10 minutes gone in the first half, 30 minutes to go of the first half. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Jack Bostock with the ball at the 45. Benjamin says, I don't think PNG will do well under their coach. Well, who is their coach right now? Because Anthony Seabold is the assistant coach. That's not the coach. But who is their coach right now? Have they got a coach signed? They go to the left-hand side. Dolphins, Nicarima. Oh, bad drop from Nicarima. Oh, he's getting into the Dragons. He's getting into the way the Dragons play early before he moves there next year. Our edge defense sucks. Well, Annie, is it a surprise that they scored down that right edge defense again this week? Like against the Titans, the Titans ran rampant there with Bo Firma, Jaden Campbell, Phil Sami. You know, they destroyed that left-hand side attack. Jalen DeGroot, they killed it. The first try here today came off an offload from Kenele Lemuelu. Funnily enough, that was the same offload that Bo Firma did a couple of times last week. And you saw Cody Nicarima was the one who following up on Lemuelu. Jaden Campbell was the one who was following up last week. And then obviously passed it back onto the inside. It wasn't Keanu Kenny, but it was, I think, Jalen DeGroot or Phil Samuel, whatever. And they went for the try. It was the same style try the Dolphins just scored as the Titans did last week to start the game off. It's the same try. Fitting into the Dragons' culture, just like Drinkwater did last night. Jeez, yeah, you're not wrong. Second tackle here with the Dragons, and they're 12 metres away here from the Dolphins line. Damien Cook to the right-hand side. They get it across, and it's going to be Dylan Egan. Good run to the 10. Third tackle. They get it across to Ryan Couchman. Here's a quick passing play. Val Holmes couldn't get it away quick enough, and Jermaine Sarko wraps him up nicely with Finifuyaki. Fourth tackle. 10 metres out, Damien Cook gets it across, and they will get taken down. 2 minutes away now. Dolphins, you got to show some defence here. Need to see your defence going into the finals. Out to the right-hand side, it's fifth tackle. Quick passing. Awful defence there from the Dolphins. And it will be an easy try there for Setu too. I've got to be honest with you there, Dolphins. That was really poor stuff. Like, that was really, really poor stuff. That is a try that no team should be conceding. The Dolphins are completely jammed in here. The Dragons have done nothing spectacular. All they've done is pass this ball right. The Dolphins have got every single player onto the inside here. This has been a try that has come off of quite literal the most basic footy you're ever going to see. But the Dolphins can't, for some reason, defend the most basic footy in that situation. That is actually insane. But I did say Setu 2 for the Dragons. Man, got dogs. You are right. I did go Setu 2, but you know that's an easier pick because he's a winger, right? But the point of the matter is that is so poor defense from the Dolphins. They have allowed that try for a literal free there, for literal free. That is nothing special from the Dragons. Like, quite literally, the Dolphins had every player on the inside there and let Selwyn Cobbo be hung and dry on the wing. Hung and dry on that wing. But anyway, 13 minutes gone. It is 6-4 to the Dolphins with the kick to come for the Dragons to try and tie it up. I'll be going for Cleary if I was PNG. I'm Cleary. Good luck. Good luck with that one. Okay, this is who you're going for. I just joined. Well, Dolphins win this game, but I'm not going for anyone specifically. Willie Peters hired Seabold as a thank you. He quit all involvement with footy and was going to become a minor. Just last minute, Seabold used his connections to give him the job in the Super League. Oh my gosh. Like, that's not even that's not a great story, because that's just, okay, even though you're awful at what you do, I'm going to give you a job at the big time level just because, like, you looked after me. And I get that for Willie Peters internally, he'd be like, oh, okay, I feel really relieved that I've been able to sign a friend of mine and whatnot. But it's like, this is a professional organisation we're talking about. It shouldn't be about handouts. It should be about earning it. You should have to earn your position. And Anthony Seibold hasn't earned shit in terms of being a part of an organisation again after his tenure at Manly and after getting the Broncos the first ever wooden spoon. Because mind you, if Anthony Seibold was still at Manly, this Manly team would have won their first spoon in history. So they've gone and signed a coach to be their assistant coach, who got the Brisbane Broncos, one of the most successful teams of all time, their first and only ever wooden spoon. And then Manly, who have never won a wooden spoon before. This year, I guarantee you, they would have pushed the Dragons the whole way. They would have pushed the Dragons the whole way for the spoon in the end of by the end of the season. So, you know, it's just amazing to me, like, how we're talking about professional. Oh, that's a great strip there from Herbie Farnworth, 1-on-1. And first tackle over the Dolphins at the 22. That'll be Marshall King to the right-hand side, and here come the Dolphins 15 metres out. I've got Sloan probably the only try the Dragons score. Well, Dolphins here, 15 metres away. They give it up to Flegler, and Flegler's going to be at the 10. Thinking Cobbo here. Thinking Cobbo. 10 metres out. Marshall King. Quick passing. Nicarima. Farnworth, left-hand side. Passes the ball, and Cobbo could have scored there, but Farnworth doesn't like to pass it there. They go to the right-hand side to Nicarima. Nicarima at the back now. Short ball, and they're going to be 5 metres away now from the line. You've been pillaging this left-hand side defence, but they will go to the left-hand side. Out of the back, Herbie Farnworth, Selwyn Cobbo. There's the... Oh, no. Has he gone over the sideline here? Oh, my gosh. They're going to call it as a try time. This is going to be close. He may have actually gone over the sideline. I called this as a try, Selwyn Cobbo, but he may have gone over the sideline here. This is going to be close. This may not be a try here. This may not be a try. This may not be a try here. I feel like he actually may have gone out, but I hope to be proven wrong, because I did call this as a try earlier on. I did say Cobbo to score. He should easily be scoring that, but like it might be a concern. Cobbo gets it there. And he will... Oh, he's actually going to score this. Yeah, he scored that. Wow, that's so close. Jeez, I think he's actually scored that just... Yeah, the ball goes down there. He scored it just. Oh, dude, that is so close. How has his foot stayed in there, by the way? His foot has stayed in there, which is insane, by the way. How has his foot stayed in there? I can't tell. You can't overturn that. You can't overturn it. There's no guaranteed evidence to say that he goes out. And you can't overturn that. There's no way. You can't overturn it. No way. You can't overturn it. You can't overturn that. No way. You can't guarantee that this isn't a try. You cannot guarantee it. The foot's fine, but the ball goes down. How can you guarantee the ball there? No way you can prove that. Bullshit. Nah, that's a bullshit call, man. That is an incorrect call. You can't guarantee 100% to overturn that call. There's no way that that's not a try. You can't guarantee 100%. The bunker is so fucking pointless. It is unbelievable. Selwyn Cobbo looked like he might have gone out, but you need to overturn the on-field decision there to say that that is 100% a no try. You can't see the moment the ball is being put down on the ground. So if you can't see that the ball is being put on the ground, so how can you say with a 100% certainty that his arm has gone out at the same time there? You can't even see the ball on the ground. So how can you overturn the call to say that they're touching simultaneously? That doesn't even make sense. You can't see the ball. You need to have 100% evidence to overturn the call. Oh, bro, bunker. And the NRL just takes no accountability. You are awful, man. You are awful. You're awful. And that's going to be a penalty here against the Dragons to the Dolphins of the 10. But the bunker is just awful, man. The bunker is just awful to watch. You cannot guarantee that he hasn't got the ball down before the arm has touched the line there. You have gone against the on-field call for whatever reason because you are assuming that the ball is touching the ground at the exact point that his arm goes down, but it's an assumption. Oh, dead set, bro. The bunker is actually it's so awful. So awful, man. The bunker is just a pain to watch, bro. My multi's longer than the Treaty of Versailles. Fun facts, Grant Atkins, the bunker, no surprise. Why bother sending a soft call up to the bunker if they just do what they like? Oh, dude, it's just incredible, Ziggy. It's incredible. So, second tackle now. Bunker sponsored by Blind Dogs. Absolutely. They'll make an argument for that. They'll say, oh, well, we believe that the arm is touching the ground at the same time. It's like, well, it's not about what you believe, mate. It's about the facts. You cannot overturn a call unless you've got a guaranteed fact. It has to be a fact to overturn it. Now, Samuel Cubbo should have been scoring that anyway, but it has to be a fact. And it wasn't. Hamiso is going to get this ball now to the 15, to the 35 on fourth tackle. And they'll go to the left-hand side now with Sai Katoa. Katoa off to Francis Molo. And again, Samuel Cubbo should have been doing better there, but ultimately, you cannot overturn that call. Adam Smith says, holy, well, then don't watch, bro. I don't give a shit. If you don't like it, then don't watch it. It's not up to you. And the Dolphins will catch it. Bostock will get it. And it's going to be Dragons ball here at the 5. Ian says, same issue every week. Bunker starting to wonder if the league getting paid by the bookies too at this point. Nay says, the bunker is as honest as a sober judge on a Monday morning. Ian says, bunker just making calls that stink that place up every time. Exactly right. So second tackle now for the Dragons, and they're going to be here at the 10. Kane says, I love how really call it. Well, I just say it how I see it. Like, sometimes I can be wrong for sure, but like at the end of the day, like that is just an incorrect call on the basis of, like, if you want to say that you believe his arm is touching the ground whilst the ball is touching the ground, which constitutes an out, that's okay to have that opinion. But at the end of the day, that's not the rule. The opinion is fine, but to overturn a call on the field, you need to have guaranteed evidence. So if you don't have that guaranteed evidence to prove exactly what you're saying, then your opinion actually doesn't really matter in terms of that in regards to the bunker. And that's why it's such a problem bringing in perspective to the bunker, because if you bring in perspective, you will see calls like that where an assumption is made. And because it's that assumption, that then means that it's now not a try because that's what the bunker believes. But it shouldn't. It's not meant to be about what the bunker believes. But I appreciate you for tuning in and enjoying the content. To Hamisa to Selwyn Cubbo, and now Selwyn Cubbo gets his ball to the 35 on third tackle. I wasn't able to watch that call. Was it a call off opinion or fact? It was a call off of opinion, not fact. And there's going to be a forward pass here from the Dolphins. If I'm proving guilt in court, must be beyond reasonable doubt. Exactly right. So how can they say that was beyond reasonable doubt? They can't. Nick Rema's having an awful game here, by the way. An awful game. It's the same old shit with the bunker, though. Like, it's the same old shit. Because you're entitled to the opinion of believing he might have put the ball down at the same time as the arm goes over the sideline, but you don't have the fact to prove that, which means you have to go with the on-field call. That's the issue. So the Dolphins now on the back foot. The Dragons are 35 metres away here from the line. What makes things worse is when people blame the ref for the bunker. Yeah, the ref's got nothing to do with that call. Second tackle now for the Dragons, and they're going to be at the 30. No, they get the offload away here on first tackle. Now it's going to be Loco Junior Pacific Itonga, who'll be at the 22 on second tackle. I reckon Manly's going to win the premiership this year. Yeah, well, Nash, I reckon you've had a bit too many tequilas for one day. So they'll go to the right-hand side, and the Dragons will be taken down to 15 on third tackle. 20 minutes gone in the first half, 20 minutes to go of the first half. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. And there's a penalty here to the Dragons. Damien Cook's going to run this one quickly. And Dragons are going to be 1 metre. No, yeah, they're going to be 1 metre out here. And they're going to be held up over the line here. So Damien Cook is slow to get up here. Clint Gutherson wanted Lemuelu to go to the bin there. Cody doing well. I'm so surprised why Lemuelu doesn't go to the bin there. Like, that probably was a professional foul. He didn't get back 10 and was even part of the tackle that prevented the try. Okay, second tackle now 5 metres away from the line. Ryan Couchman, Damien Cook, they go to the left-hand side here to Cuff Flanagan underneath. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a rocking tackle there from Morgan Knowles. Hamish Schultz just got rocked. The Dragons here, Locko Junior Pacific Tonga, 2 metres out of the line, 4 tackle. 4 tackle, Damien Cook goes for a Scooty McScoot. I think he's held up over the line here, yeah. Held up over the line, so it's going to be 5th tackle at the 10. Home NRL says, lucky he took an hour to get off of a quick tap. Get off a quick tap. Well, they've been really liking the quick tap here today, the Dragons. Like, they've been clearly trying to use it as a point. Yeah, Tim Thompson, I know you're here to troll, bro. You'll last about 2 seconds. We slapped you a couple of weeks ago too, by the way, a little boy. But anyway, Dragons will score the try. Tyrell Sloan will score on a wing. And it will be 8 points to 6 with the kick to come, but it's just bullshit because the Dolphins had a try at the other end of the field. Like, I'm sorry, Dragons fans. I can't even celebrate this here for you because I would love to see the Dragons win this game and surprise, but I'm sorry, you are currently winning this game off of an absolutely bullshit call as we speak because the Dolphins did have a try that was unfairly taken away from them. Dragons top 8 next year. Okay, yeah, well, you're a muppet. But the Dragons will score a try in the wing. It's just so frustrating that when you're watching rugby league and you want to watch a better game than we watched last night, because that was just an absolute diabolical game last night. But you want to watch a game that's better. This is a close game, but it's also a close game for the wrong reasons right now, because the bunker, yet again, is making incorrect calls that suit whatever agenda they've got going on. So it is 8-6 here to the Dragons with a kick to come from the sideline. Bunker is improving and has been lately, but 30M is invested to get the right people for the job, so it's changing right now, according to Brad Fittler. What's it been improving in, Walter? What's the bunker been improving in? How has it been improved? We're here every majority of games. I defend it at times when it needs to be defended, but like, how is it improving? In what way? In what capacity is it improving? Don't worry, Dragons only play with the first half. I don't care about the result of this game, bro. I just want to watch a game that's legitimate. I don't want to see games that we're talking about the bunker. I can care less about the bunker. I want to watch the game of rugby league. It's got nothing to do with who wins this game. And Val Holmes will get the kick, so it will be 10 points to 6 here to the Dragons with 18 minutes to go here the first half. Bunker's been getting worse, arguably. Yeah, I don't know the argument for Bunker is improving. Warriors Panthers still the best free-flowing competition game of the year. Yeah, probably was. Probably. You're probably right. All right. So it's 18 minutes to go here of the first half, and it's 10-6 to the Dragons. Shouldn't be, though. I don't think I've seen a bunker in any sport overturn a call based on something they believe happened over clear and obvious to make a change to a call. Yeah, but they do it all the time and it happened obviously tonight. All right, so first tackle there for the Dragons, and they're going to get this ball to the 15. A bunker in any sport overturn a call based on something they believe happened over clear and obvious to make a change to call. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the rule is about clear and obvious, not about a perspective-based opinion, which is what they made a call on tonight for the no try to sell on Cobbo. They go to the left-hand side, and the Dragons now get this ball here to the 35 on 4 tackle. Damien Cook to the right-hand side of Clint Gutherson. And Gutherson now 5th tackle at the 45. Nathan Cleary going to score hat-trick this game. Been playing pretty well in the opening 20 minutes. Yeah, good stuff, Nash. Yeah, no, you're a hero, brother. So the Dolphins are going to receive this ball here at the 10. Selwyn Cobbo takes this ball out here to the 20, and it'll be first tackle. Samuel says, no bunker refs call. I know too many cameras, but would be happy. And now the Dolphins will get this ball to the 25 on second tackle. Out to the right side, Jack Bostock, and Bostock to the 30 on third tackle. I need all sports bets over 48.5 in this game. Doesn't seem likely. That's fine. There's still 57 minutes to go through this game. There still should be plenty of tries left in this one. Go to the left-hand side, sorry. And it'll be Dolphins at the 48 on fifth tackle. Dragons are a team that regress into the game. The Dolphins are a team that progress into a game. But if the Dolphins lose this one, it would really show the Dolphins are having their second season fade out. They should still get into the top 8 this year, but if they lose this game, it will really show what they're doing this back end. Yeah, maybe we'll see you in 5 minutes' time, Nash. So second tackle here for the Dragons. They're going to get this ball here to the 10. Nope, don't worry. We just won't be seeing you, Nash. Third tackle here at the 15. Fair enough, Mitchell. Penrith Roosters, grand final, what do you mean? I think people really quickly forget about the Sharks because of one result there for the Roosters. I think people are very quickly forgetting the Sharks have still won 8 out of the last 9 with a 66-0 win over this Dolphins team in the midst. Yes, they did lose to the Roosters, but it's a very tight game though between those two typically. But could easily see Roosters win that one, could easily see Sharks winning that one. You never know with those two teams. So the Dolphins will get this ball here at the 20, and it will be brought out now to the 40 through Jermaine Asako. Yeah, but Penrith is always there, hoping another team is good enough. Yeah, sure. Like, I still think Penrith do go and probably win this competition. Oh my gosh, Selwyn Cobbo right through the line. And Selwyn Cobbo probably does score. He will score as well. Selwyn Cobbo will score the try there for the Dolphins, and they won't take this one away from him. That was a great pass offload there from Jack Bostock through for a rampaging Cobbo, and it will be 10-10 here with the kick to come. 10-10 with a kick to come. Yeah, Gutho unfortunately couldn't get to Cobbo. It was actually closer than I thought, but yeah, that was just right through the line there for Selwyn Cobbo. That's a great try. That's a great try. You can't take this one away from him, Bunker. What a pass there from Jack Bostock. What a pass from Jack Bostock. But yeah, then Selwyn Cobbo goes right on through, runs for 50 metres and will score in a corner. What a ball from Bostock. Yeah, no, brilliant. Brilliant stuff. There is that wonderful defense again. Well, you can't really do too much about that. Like, that's not really a bad... Like, it's just not wrapping the ball up there from Carl Flanagan and Dylan Egan. Because ultimately, like, as soon as Cobbo gets that ball there, like, it's going to be near and impossible to stop him with that head of steam. And yeah, that's a brilliant... You know, that's fantastic there from Selwyn Cobbo, but like overall, like it's not like the Dragons' defense was really poor there. It was just a great offload in a really hectic area. Wonder if the Bunker will believe it and score again. It's just ridiculous. He should have 2 tries right now. He should have 2 tries right now, Cobbo. Tiger Hood with the $2 donation. Cobbo try scorer. Get around your Tiger Hood. Thanks for the support. And Sako will miss the kick, so we'll stay 10 points to 10 with 14 minutes to go here in the first half. That's a try even in Wigan. Even in Wigan, son. Even in Wigan. Bunker is definitely punching air right now. Well, you just got to really sit back and look at that. That pass. Like, that pass was really, really nice there from Jack Bostock. That was really, really nice. But again, he should have had 2 tries. All right, so 10 points to 10 with 14 minutes to go to first half. These aren't hard picks to make, fun facts. Yeah, no, like obviously, and I went with those 2 wingers. I went with not Jack Bostock. I went with someone coming to score a try. And I went with set to 2 to go for a try. So I've at least got the backline players, but they're the easy picks. You know, the other hard ones are always the forwards, and I went with Lemuelu for the Dolphins, and who did I go with for the Dragons? I went with like Toby Cashman or something like that, but I'm not convinced in any of the Dolphins, the Dragons forwards, sorry. They'll be at the 42 on third tackle. And they'll go out to Hermeso. Hermeso off here to Maxi Plath, and Max Plath with a great run to the 50 on fourth tackle. Marshall King out to the left-hand side, and he'll be at the 30 now on fifth tackle. Flegel for a try. He pops up at the most random moments, to be fair. And off it goes. Isai Katoa puts that ball up, and Miso chasing it through nicely, but Gutho gets it with ease and slap back at the 8 on first tackle. Still waiting for you to time someone out, Tiger. What has Tiger done about timing out? What do you do? Lagan says, Jerome Hughes out for the Storm tonight. Bulldog, halfback Hayden Watson on debut. Oh my gosh, Bulldogs, if you don't win that game for 13 plus, I might even remove you from the table. I might even remove you. They've got no Munster. They've got no Harry Grant. They've got no Jerome Hughes. I know it's in Melbourne, but you should be winning that game tonight by a country mile. But knowing the Bulldogs, they're so inconsistent right now. Like, they can be unbelievable like they were against the Wars, but I wouldn't even be surprised if the Dogs still won that game 1-12. I really wouldn't be surprised. No Warbrick. That's arguably a positive in a lot of ways in terms of his play style this year, but still a loss. So they go to the right-hand side. And the Dolphins will get this ball to the 42 on second tackle. Olivia, appreciate being a member for 39 months. 39 months supporting this Muppet. You are a Muppet too. But appreciate you for supporting the channel. Lemuelu will be taken down. No, Fini Fuiaki taken down to the 45. When did the Penguins play? Penguins are unbelievable, mate. They got brought into the competition after the Cowboys proved their disappointment last night. And 6 again for the Dolphins is an absolute crusher here for the Dragons, right? With 11.5 minutes to go in the first half, and it's going to be first tackle, the 25 of the Dolphins, and they're all over them again. Amiso underneath now to Bostock, and Bostock will be at the 15 now on second tackle. He's trying to go for the strip, but he couldn't get it. Oh, wow, they're going to call that as a strip. He's still got his arm around it, referee. How is Bostock... That's fucking bullshit, referee. Oh, dude, that's awful. Bostock has clearly got the ball the whole time. Challenge it. Challenge it, Dolphins, please. Please challenge it, Dolphins. Please challenge it. Please challenge it. How can they not challenge this, referee? How can they not challenge this? This is, yet again, another bad call. Bostock has the ball the entire time. His arm is around the ball, and then he comes up with the ball in the end. You've got him having the ball the entire time. And then not only that, you are going to see the referee say that you can't challenge it, he's not allowed to challenge it, and proceed to penalise the Dolphins as well. This is actually outrageous. Like, the referee, are you trying to keep this game close after yesterday's travesty? I reckon it is. I've got to be honest, because Cobbo has had a try taken away from him, and now you've also seen whatever the hell that call was, where Bostock never actually lost the ball and came up with the ball in the end and then got penalised for saying that it was his ball. Third tackle at the 30. Every call is going the Dragons' way right now. This is actually bullshit. Fourth tackle here at the 30. It's insane. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe when you're ready. It's a debut ref, Looney. The bunker call wasn't his fault, but that call is absolutely his fault. Breathe, please. Breathe. I'm not. Because I love the game of rugby league, and this is a disgrace right now. Oh my gosh. Is that not a 4 pass? Oh, that's going to be Jermaine Stark who picks his ball up here at the 5, and they'll get taken down here at the 3. Duncan says, watch the Dragons score against some more bullshit. Like, I'm not even a massive fan of the Dolphins, but they're getting an absolute rort right now. Ref trying to get Dragons a spoon. What? It's the complete opposite. Third tackle now with the Dolphins here. At the 10, they're not making many meters. They go to the left-hand side, Heavy Farm. What? That's a high tackle. Well, that was really good defense from the Dragons, so they went and gave away the high tackle. Are you a Dolphins fan, Liam says? Man, I couldn't give a fuck about the Dolphins. I couldn't give a shit about the Dolphins, man. I'm actually not even a big fan of the Dolphins. Ball don't lie. Dolphins about to score. Who in the NRL is trying to get some positivity into the Dragons? Well, it's like you just made the argument that there was a big blowout result of 82-12 last night, and now you're seeing some calls go for a lower-ranked team against a higher-ranked team in this game. You know what? The officiating tonight is awful. I'd rather have Big Ashley calling the match. You know, it's funny. Throughout the season, I've now been called a Dolphins fan here by Liam. I've been called a Dragons fan at points this season. I wonder if anyone's going to think I'm a Titans fan, like, eventually. So they go to the right-hand side, and Dolphins now beat the 43 on second tackle. I've been called a Broncos fan before. I've been called a Sharks fan before. I've been called a Warriors fan before. Shit, I've been called everything before. Third tackle now at the 30. Third tackle at the 34, the Dolphins. They go to the left-hand side. Here's Lemuelu who gets his ball to the 15. And they get him down. They go to the left-hand side. Nikorima across here to Cobbo, and that's going to be a drop ball from Cobbo. Nikorima is having an awful game to watch tonight. Nikorima has been so bad. Ziggy says, you're a bandwagon Titans fan just because we are top of the table. This is true, yeah. Nicarima's passing game tonight and ball play has been so poor. Liam says, I didn't say you're a Dolphins fan. I'm new to this game and asked if you supported them as it seemed like it. No, you're fine, Liam. I'm taking piss, bro. No, I'm not a Dolphins fan. If you look at the table, you'll pretty quickly figure out who I support, my man. They're taking out the 25. If you look at that table, you'll figure it out pretty quickly. And they go out to the left-hand side here. Pass was debatable, but it's fine. They'll get taken down now at the 35 on 4 tackle. If a player has the ball stripped, they realise and go to defend, not take the ball back. Exactly right. So the Dragons now are going to be at the 30 on fit tackle. Fit tackle now, and Damien Cook goes to the left-hand side to Lycan King to Gia. And the Dolphins, Hisako gets the ball at the 5, and it'll be taken down by Tyrell Sloan, 5 metres out. Where fans are fairly played games with competent officiating. Correct. It's what we would prefer to see. No, we do every single game here of every team, Liam, so you'll see me react like this because I just love the game of rugby league. Hamiso will now be at the 25 on 4 tackle. The Creamer and Drinkwater showing their quality so far. Yeah, Dolphins are away. It's Kurt Donahue. Donahue right through. Nobody following him up, though. Nobody following him. Oh, that's awful defense from Gutherson. Oh, my gosh. Kurt Donahue will taken down here at the 18. Spread it left. Just spread it left quickly. They go to the left-hand side. Hamiso gets it across here to Sakatoa. At the back end, Nicarima. Heavy Farnworth back onto the inside. And this is going to be a true time for the Dolphins. It is going to be Ray Stone onto the field. And he will score a try. 14 points to 10 here with a get to come. Take it off a bunker. Why don't you? Take it off. Anyway, Gutho, that was awful defense. That was awful defense there from Gutho. Lots of Muppets in the chat today, Olivia says. It is what it is. Moderators are doing well with it. My Queen Sunday says. Try to think Bob Muddabish. Yes, as a massive Dolphins fan, yes. Yes. I've always been a huge Ray Stone Dolphins fan of Mundos. Massive. Massive. Oh my gosh, huge. I'm from Redcliffe. I'm from Redcliffe. Big Redcliffe fan. I'm really proud to come from one of the best black beaches in Australia. Black sand beaches. The black sand beaches of Redcliffe. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. Anyone else still in shock from last night's score? No, we move. Come on, Dolphins, Breakout says. Well, 4 minutes 45 to go here. Bunker throws video into AI on my beer. Other Goggers Titans is why not staying loyal to the Penguins? Well, look, the thing is that the Penguins are so good and the Titans are undeniable. So you've got a very good Penguins team and an undeniable Titans team. But I'm also considering getting around the Tajikistani cow farmers as well. You know, I'm considering it. I am considering it. Do we need 50 moderators? Yeah, probably. Massive on the old Penguins. But they're just too good for me, you know. I'm so used to supporting a bad rugby league team that, you know, the Titans are just too good for me now, and so are the Penguins. Then again, the Dolphins are above the Penguins, so I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, so the Dragons get this ball off. 4.5 minutes to go to the first half. I genuinely might, on Redbubble, make a Penguins like merchandise so I can wear on the stream. I might do it. I love it. Today is Muppet Friday, to be fair. Well, Dogs still after this. A very important game, but Dogs have no excuses. Dolphins fall at the 10 on first tackle. They go to the left-hand side. Adam says, mate, watching from New York, what's that chart on the right and who are the Penguins? So, hypothetically speaking, if this wasn't the real ladder, which is the real ladder, but hypothetically speaking, if this was a fake ladder, the Penguins don't exist, but the Cowboys exist. It's just that they're not on the table because we kicked them out, because last night they lost by the biggest scoreline in modern history of 82 points to 12. So we kicked them out of the competition and we brought in the Antarctican Penguins. And hypothetically speaking, you know, the Panthers will be on top of the table, but that's not true because the Titans have never lost a game in history. And they'll whack this ball across here. The Dragons will get this ball here at the 5, and Tyrell Sloan brings it out to the 5, first tackle. Josh says, how do you stay so sexy for a Titans fan? Well, Titans are from the Gold Coast, and Gold Coast fans are always so sexy, mate. So, it's just in the genes, buddy. It's just in the genes, the just genes, mate. Trey wants a shout out to the Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh Penguins. This is the Antarctican Penguins. Fourth tackle now for the Dragons at the 20. And Damien Cook goes quickly, and Bostock takes him down to the 25 on fit tackle. It's not a great deal of meters there from the old Dragons. Not a fantastic amount of meters there. All right, so the Dolphins are going to start their set in the attacking half on first tackle. That's an aggro-looking Penguin. Yeah, well, they're fired up, mate. They're fired up. You don't want to fire up the Penguins. Second tackle out to 38. Mitchell says, nobody knows about supporting a bad team quite like the Roosters. Only 82 points in the game is inexcusable. How would their fans cope? Should have been 100. And they'll go to the left-hand side. That gives it off to Nicarima. Nicarima at the back here to Herbie Farnworth. Farnworth to someone Cubbo. Someone coming back on the inside. Good defense there from the Dragons, actually. Fourth tackle at the 10. Fourth tackle at the 10. To Nicarima. Out to Isai Katoa. Katoa now. They give it up to Ray Stone, and Stone's going to be 12 metres out. I think you just keep pumping this left-hand side. They go to the right. They should have kept pumping on the left-hand side, though. Hamiso, quick passing. Bostock back onto the inside, offloads it. Donahue across here. They give it back. It's still Dolphins ball. Hamiso. It's going to be caught here from the Dolphins. They get across to Nicarima. They got numbers. Lemuelu. That's a forward pass. What the fuck was that from Lemuelu? Lemuelu, if you pass that ball earlier, they score on the corner. Crazy stuff. Envy says, hey, also from New York, what does the scam mean on the right referring to? So scam means that not only are they not playing like a top 8 team, but they are just the most inconsistent team where you just don't know what you're going to get from them. As in, like, one day they'll win a game against the Panthers and the next day they'll lose a game against the Dragons. Or they've just not been playing well. Like they promise a lot and they're delivering a little at this point of the season. Fraud is obviously they're showing signs of fraud alert. Second tackle now for the Dragons, and they're going to be at the 35. Second tackle. Daz needs to be hidden from the streams they lost today. Yeah, Daz and Lag and all the Bulldogs fans probably do get a good old hiding. They do get a good old hiding from the stream if they do lose today. Same game to the Dolphins allergic grubbers. Yep, Nicarame's having an awful game today. Out of the right-hand side, Gutho to 2-2, and it'll be second tackle here at the 50. Second tackle at the 50. And hey, Dylan Egan to the 45. And they'll give it short ball. Josh Kerr, he'll be at the 35 on fourth tackle. Dolphins have let 3 tries go tonight. They could have been out of sight already tonight. I agree, Andrew, but also they had a try taken away from them that should have been a try. That's going to be a dropout, but that's just going to be the end of the first half. But yeah, the Dolphins could have easily been up by a heap more, but one, the bunker got involved for one that should have absolutely been a try. And the other, yeah, we've just seen the Dolphins throw away guaranteed tries too. Like down that left-hand wing, they've been killing them today, but Nicarima's been having just an awful game against his future club, and yeah, no, it's not. It's not been fantastic stuff from the Dolphins, but they are usually a second half team, whilst the Dragons are usually a first half team. And right now, it's still 16-10 to the Dolphins, so you would still fully expect this game to blow away in the end. But overall, it hasn't been ultimately impressive from the Dolphins, despite the fact that they have been robbed of a try based off of opinion. Envy says, RC, this honestly has been a great watch since waiting for the NFL to start. Just don't quite understand some of the mechanics, though. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the NFL starting as well. But yeah, just the more you watch, man, the more you'll get it. Like, I don't know if you're actually watching the game itself and listening to our commentary, or you're just listening to our commentary. But if you have any questions, obviously just shoot it through in the chat. But let's get into the stats here at halftime, guys. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new around here. Let's do it to the Dolphins, 16. The Dragons, 10. This game is at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. The tries for the Dragons, set to 2 and Tyrell Sloan, with 1 from 2 on the conversions from Val Holmes. Whilst the Dolphins are Hamisa Tabuafido, Selwyn Couple and Ray Stone. Conversions 2 from 3, Jermaine Sarko and Jermaine Sarko. You move now to the possession. It is 52% possession to the Dragons, 48% possession to the Dolphins. So essentially equal there. You go to the time of possession, 14 minutes and 3 seconds for the Dragons, 12 minutes and 51 seconds for the Dolphins. So you're seeing the Dragons with slightly slightly a little bit more ball here. It is above the 25-minute threshold that you're looking for. So 14 plus 12 is 26, plus a 51 seconds, 3 seconds. It's basically 27 minutes. You're pretty happy with that one overall for the time possession. And then we move to the completion rate, where 80% is what you're looking for. And you're seeing the Dragons with a whopping 90%. That is spectacular. 90% completion rate is really good. 18 from 20, they're not making errors. But the Dolphins, they're at 72%, 13 from 18. If they could just hold the ball here, they would have been up 30 points to 10 at half time. But they just keep making mistakes on that left wing, that left edge. You know, they just kept on making mistakes down there when they could have easily been up by a country mile at this point. But 72% is not good enough, whilst 90% is fantastic there for the Dragons. Runs-wise, 89 runs here for the Dragons. 890 is what you're looking for. They're at 776. So 10 metres on average per run is 890 from 89 runs. They're at 776, which means they're 114 run metres behind the 10 metres per run that you're looking for. It's not quite good enough. You want to be in a 100-metre range. They're 114 metres away from it. So it's not quite good enough there from the Dragons. Well, the Dolphins, with 86 runs, you're looking for 860 metres. They're at 960 metres. So they are 100 metres above the 10 metres on average per run that you're looking for. 100 metres above it, exactly. 960 to 784. Now it's 960 to 801, with 91 for 801 there for the Dragons. 159 more metres for the Dolphins, with 5 less runs. 5 less runs, and they've got 159 more run meters. The Dolphins are destroying them in the middle of the park. And the post-contact meters, 288 there for the Dolphins, 275 there for the Dragons. Now it's 92 runs for them. Now it's 87 runs for the Dolphins. So it's 291 and 275. So the Dolphins are winning by 16 post-contact meters with 5 less runs than the Dragons. 5 less runs and 16 extra meters on the post-contact. So the Dolphins are destroying them on both run meters and also post-contact meters. Now, line breaks is interesting. There's no defense in this game. 3 line breaks for the Dragons is really good. 5 line breaks for the Dolphins is ridiculous. So we're seeing a lot of line breaks here. But this is what you expect at a half-time with the Dragons and Dolphins games. Tackle breaks, 16 for the Dolphins, 15 there for the Dragons. So very equal there. Actually, still quite a lucky missed tackles considering. But the average set distance, 25 metres and below is pathetic to the stream off. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic. And 50 plus is basically perfect. 40.02 here for the Dragons. That is great. Slightly into the great category. Getting plenty of metres per set. Fantastic stuff. Well, the Dolphins, they're at 54.64. 54.65 actually, which is one of the best average set distances that you will see. That is incredible there from the Dolphins. It's what the Titans were doing to the Dragons last week. You know, 54.65 is showing this Dragons team does not have any defense in this game as a falsity right now, because 54.65 is exactly what the Titans did last week to this same Dragons team, but up at Cogra. Both home games of the Dragons. It's a 14.5, 15 metre swing here in favour of the Dolphins on an average set distance. That's incredible. And the Dolphins didn't even play that well in the first half. And yet this is the kind of stats we're looking at. So I'm still getting rid of this cough. Now the average play the ball speed, 3.2 and below is extremely fast. 3.21 to 3.19 and below is extremely fast. 3.2 to 3.39 is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average. 3.6 to 3.79 is slow. And 3.8 and above is extremely slow. 3.13 seconds here for the Dragons is very, very, very fast. It is extremely fast there. The Dolphins at 3.3 seconds is fast. You know, so you're still seeing a 0.17 second switch in favour of the Dragons here, but they're extremely fast and the Dolphins are fast. The offloads is 5-4 for the Dolphins, so getting up there for the Dolphins, still quite low there for the Dragons, but both kind of sitting in an awkward position there. You go to the 100% kick defusal for the Dolphins, which is impressive. 50% there for the Dragons. We move to the effective tackle percentage, and actually this is not too bad. So 85% and below is awful. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 80% to 90% is hitting the marker. And 90% and above is basically perfect. 87.92% here for the Dragons is still underwhelming. 182 tackles made is slightly above the typical range of 160 to 180 by 2. The 17 missed tackles is on the average of 15 to 17 missed tackles. And the 8 ineffective tackles is 1 above the average of 5 to 7. So you've got 25 bad tackles here from a slightly above typical range of 182 tackles made for a slightly below the solid rating of 88% with 87.92%. So it's still not too bad here for the Dragons, but it is in the underwhelming category. But the Dolphins, they're at 91.77%. That's basically perfect. 212 tackles made is above the typical range of 160 to 180 by 32. Missed tackles is 15. Average is 15 to 17. Ineffective tackles is 4. Average is 5 to 7, so they're one below that. 19 bad tackles. Compared to look at it this way, 15 missed tackles for the Dolphins, 17 missed tackles for the Dragons, but the Dragons have made 30 less tackles than the Dolphins. So in 30 less tackles, they've missed 2 more tackles and they've had 4 more ineffective tackles. And that's why the Dolphins are at 91.77%, and it is looking beautiful. Now, in regards to the negative play, errors, 6 for the Dolphins is average. 3 and below is really good, 4 to 6 is average, and 7 above is awful. 6 for the Dolphins is high-end average, whilst the Dragons are only at 2. So in the really good category of 3 and under. Penalties conceded is 3-2 against the Dolphins, quite high for the Dolphins. Pretty normal for the Dragons. Ruck infringements 2-1 against the Dolphins, and on what reports is 1-1. So overall infringements is 5-3 against the Dolphins. Overall, these stats here are proving exactly what we said pre-game. These stats here are proving exactly what we know about this Dragons team. They're a solid team. They don't have any speed and they don't have any X factor, because these stats here that we have seen, their defense hasn't been that bad. They have not made any errors really. They've had less penalties conceded. They've had less ruck infringements. They've had a quicker play the ball speed. They've got a much better completion rate. The completion rate for the Dolphins is now 66% at 12 from 18. They've had more ball, but they're not getting the run meters and they're not getting the post-contact meters. So there is actually still a worry about their forwards, but there is also definitely a worry in regards to their back line. This game should have been 22 points to 10. Someone cover should have a double right now. But the bunker decided to make a perspective and an opinion-based call to suit whatever narrative that he wants. So overall, I think the Dolphins still run away with this game, but at the end of the day, I think there is some positives here to take from the Dragons, and that's the fact that it's a close game as we currently speak of 16 points to 10. But I do still worry for the Dragons in the sense that this game will probably blow out, because the Dragons are usually a team that falls off in the second half, and the Dolphins, the team, are usually pump home in the second half. It says not the 80-plus score, but I mean a huge blowout for the Dolphins. Yep, I agree. If the Dolphins just holding the ball, this could be a blowout. Credit to the Dragons for stepping up, though, in the last few weeks. If the Dragons holding the ball, they could match the Roosters. No. Hold on. No, I definitely don't agree with the Dragons holding the ball. They could match the Roosters. No way. No, I disagree with that one. The Roosters also beat them by 60 the last time they played each other. And also the Dragons just get pumped by the Titans just last week as well. So prior to last week, they're very good. Look, at the end of the day, the Dolphins have been a lot of their own worst enemy here, because if you look at the meters that the Dolphins are making, a really, really good team should have been up by 30 here. A really good team should be 16-4. Well, no. Well, no, it shouldn't be 16-4. It's already 16-10. The Dolphins should have another 7 come-out try. But you just never know what happens after that moment, right? But sure. Penguins falling out of the 8 tonight. Dogs going in. Hughes out of the Storm. Sure. But with that being said, with that being said, the Dogs still have one less win than the Cowboys do. But sure, it should be happening. The Dogs should be winning that game tonight. I still wouldn't be surprised if it's a 1 or 12 Dogs, even though it should be a 13-pluser. I would not be surprised if the Dogs find it quite difficult tonight, regardless, which honestly should not be happening. It's 16-10 at half time. I'll just wait for the second half to get started. Don't forget, we've got Bulldog Storm right after this. By the way, is anybody else complaining about the Cubbo try, or is it just me? It honestly might be just me. People usually just like to cuck it around. Top load of fuel, sensational. Trace, I feel like this game is teetering on a blow for the Finns. Well, it is, because they could have had a lot more tries in that first half, but they were their own worst enemies by dropping that ball on that left-hand sideline. Is Toby Cashman injured, or is he sin bin? Someone mentioned before something about Toby Cashman. Someone mentioned something before, but I didn't quite pick it up. What happened with Toby Cashman? Someone in the chat did mention it. I'm not sure. Clanky says bunker overstepped. Absolutely. The bunker provide a perspective when it's not their job to provide perspective in that instance. The old paddock... HIA, thank you, Ziggy. The old paddock basher is the way we learn how to drive. So yeah, anyway, Toby Cashman, HIA. Martell says close and don't see how there was evidence to reverse the decision. Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about you guys. I was talking about like in general. Like I know what you guys are thinking because you've been commenting. I'm talking about in general in like the NRL community on Instagram and socials and whatnot. I wonder if anybody else is talking about it or if it's just us. I'm sure probably they probably are. But anyway. It is what it is, and the Dolphins are still leading here. But, Dragons fans, you'll take whatever you can get with this season, to be fair. With this season, you'll take whatever you can damn well get amundos. I'm looking forward to moving places on Monday, though. I'm really looking forward to moving to a different place in Almaty or somewhere around Kazakhstan because one, the internet here sucks, but also two, there's only one aircon in this apartment and it's on the other side over there and it's the middle of summer here in Kazakhstan and it's hot as shit right now. It's hot as shit. It is hot as shit right now. But it is 16-10 to the Dolphins. And we wait. Actually, how's the old Supercoach going? How's the old Supercoach going? The old Supercoach is going all right now. Not too shabby. Not too shabbamundos. Lagan says, imagine being Hayden Watson, a young and small halfback making your NRL debut, and on your debut you have Viliami Kickow running at you for 80 minutes. Well, Viliami Kickow is not the same Viliami Kickow that he was a few years ago, but you're right. You're right, it's a tough one. But I also wouldn't be overtly confident in the Bulldogs because the Bulldogs are still a team that, they had that Warriors game, but they still had that Raiders game. As a non-Aussie, what is paddock bashing? I'll let the chat explain that one. What have you tried to relive your throat, mate, honey? I'm not going to speak. I recognise what the problem was. That's why you're seeing me cough a lot less right now. But I reckon... I recognised what the problem was, and I've just cancelled it. So that's why it's not as bad. Like, you're seeing me cough occasionally now, but just not as much as I have been. So yeah, I've just been removing certain aspects of life out, if that makes sense. Marcel said, I've already read that comment. But all right, the Dolphins running out here for the second half. Let's see how it all pans out. Let's see how it gets going here. And if the Dolphins can run away with it, or if the Dragons can pick up a surprise victory and really throw a cat amongst the pigeons. Really throw a cat amongst the pigeons with the Dolphins. Because if they lose this, there's no guarantee they get into the top 8. There's no guarantee. But they would be very grateful the Cowboys did lose their game last night. By as much as they did too. Because the Dragons need this win. Well, they don't need jack shit really, because they've already got the spoon. But they'd like the win for sure. But need's not the right word. Too much of that herbal inhaler. It's got nothing to do with the herbal inhaler, bro. Actually, I want the old snifferoon of the herbal inhaler, but I don't know where my bag is. I'll get it for the second game. Because I have to deal with you and the Bulldogs. That's what. That's why I'll go for the second game. Tubby is out, damn it. Tubby Couch been out for the rest of the game. That is not good for the Dragons. That is not good for the old Dragamundos. So I feel like this is it Dragons receiving the ball here? I feel like the Dolphins received it first half. Tessie says, how does it feel being the only person in Kazakhstan watching the NRL? You're probably right, to be fair. I don't know if you could prove that, but you're probably right. So it's actually going to be the Dolphins doing this ball in the second half. So hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe for a new round here. The Dolphins will run it out here through Tom Gilbert. He'll bring it out of the 10 on first tackle. You're probably right. I don't think anybody here would be watching the old NRL. I don't. But there might be some Aussies rolling around, but there's not really. There's definitely no Kiwis here. I've not heard of or even seen. Like every time I speak to somebody, they're like Australian, very good culture. I never see Australian. So you're probably right. Lemuelu, 4 tackler at the 35. Kyrgyzstan will be even less when I go there. Post contact there for Lemuelu, good to the 40. And a Sakatoa here on 4 tackle, looks for a 40-20. Can't get the angle though, and Gutho will get it, and he'll bring it out to the 30. Trey says, will that also make the biggest Dolphins supporter in Kazakhstan as well? Definitely not a Dolphins fan, mate. Definitely not a Dolphins fan. Massive Penguins fan, me. Second tackle now at the 33. Massive. Bet there's a South fan in Kazakhstan. There's a South fan everywhere. I'm sure there is probably a South fan somewhere. Maybe I can see a big mountain with snow on top of it right now, and I'd probably say there's a South fan on top of that, knowing how South fans are. Yeah, there's South fans everywhere except for South Sydney. That makes sense. So fit tackle now at the 45 for the Dragons. Have you been approached by anyone in any of the countries you've been in for your commentary for calling games? Yeah. Thailand had a heap. I've told you guys about this, though. Thailand, we've got a bunch of people here who watch from Thailand, which is awesome. Not Vietnam, not like Malaysia and stuff like that, but like Thailand makes sense because there's a lot of Aussies there. I guarantee you if I went to Indonesia, we'd get a lot of people probably coming up as well. Second tackle, get the 22 for the Dolphins. Like, we've got a lot of people who watch from Indonesia, obviously the ex-Aussies, well, not ex-Aussies, but the Aussies who used to live in Australia, and same thing with Thailand. But you're not really going to find it when you go to places like Kazakhstan and Vietnam and India and the likes. And Vung Tau, Vietnam, we had a couple actually. Fit tackle now, but that's mainly because my dad was there. So fit tackle here at the 50, and Max Plath, they've lost the ball. Oh my gosh. I tell you what, Dolphins aren't actually playing well in this game. Tom Gilbert has had a fall off since his injury as well. So no, South fans wouldn't be able to get past Border Patrol. Oh well, apparently around the world the borders don't exist anymore, so forget about that. That's a fun fact. Yeah, a lot of fun. Lou says, to tell you the truth, as a Dragons fan... Well, you didn't tell us anything, though. All you've said is to tell you the truth as a Dragons fan. You didn't actually tell us anything. So that was a lie. So you didn't tell us the truth. So go to the left-hand side, Gutherson. Quick pass, a penalty. That's a penalty against the Dolphins for sure. Yep. So it'll be Dragons ball here. Well, if he said it's a forward pass, well, then why would it be a penalty? Because the player that he's taken out of the play... Well, if he's saying it's a forward pass, it doesn't even make sense. Because if it's a forward pass, well, then there's no penalty. David says, did you go to the local football game yet? And if so, what was the quality like? I wasn't able to get there because of my sickness, man. Unfortunately. But trust me, I'll still be able to get to another sporting event. I'll go to another Champions League match. They actually play against a Bulgarian team in a couple of weeks' time. I think next week they play against a Bulgarian team. I'm considering actually going to Bulgaria, to be fair. Second tackle out to 15. It's not too far away. They go to the left-hand side. Here's a chance. King Tong now. Dragons now 5 metres away from the line. And they'll go to the right. That's a knock-on from the Dragons. And Fiwiaki, 0 tackle. We'll get this ball to the 5. Redcliffe's Dolphins better pick it up. Well, at the end of the day, they're up 16-10, but they're not making any statement here, that's for sure. Jermaine Sarko gets his ball to 15 on first tackle. Well, I'm not even going to necessarily agree with that. Lucis, I'm pretty happy with them. Fresh blood coming next year with players who are actually first grade standard. Okay, sure. But playing better under Young, I would disagree with. Rolling 20.7, I don't think we've seen anything in regards to like a guaranteed evidence to show that they're playing better under Young than Flanagan. Like at the end of the day, they didn't come last year, and they've actually never come last whilst they've been a merger. So I don't think we've got any proof to back in that they're playing better under Young than they did under Flanagan. I would actually probably argue a little bit of the opposite there, but that's not me saying that they're like Flanagan should have stayed. Flanagan was the right choice to get rid of for sure, but he's not the only issue. He's not the main problem. Left-hand side here, it'll be Farnworth. And what's Farnworth doing? But it's going to be Dolphins ball. It's going to be 6 again in. Selwyn Cubbo goes through the line. He'll be at the 25 on 0 tackle. Yeah, Flanagan was a problem, but like, yeah, I wouldn't say that we've got like proof to say that they're playing better with Dean Young. Second tackle now to 13. A couple of results recently have been decent, but like Flanagan picked up a couple of good results at times too. So it'll be the Dolphins. Next he'll tell us what Dean Young is. Fiwiaki with a great run there, but he'll be 2 metres away from the line. If the Dolphins can actually hold the ball on the left-hand side of the field, they will score. Go to the left, to the left-hand side here. Nicarima, short ball, not the play at all. 3 metres out, even the line, 4 tackle. Max Plath goes at himself. That's selfish. That was never on there. That was never on. 5th tackle now, 1 metre away from the line. Nicarima goes out the back here. They go to the right. Intercepted there by the Dragons. I tell you what, the Dolphins are playing some shit footy here today. Val Holmes is going to get away here. He's going to get away. He flicks that ball. That's a forward pass. That's so dumb. Oh my gosh. Val Holmes. Oh my gosh. 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 Valentine Holmes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Valentine Holmes. Oh my gosh. Valentine Holmes, what is so cool? What is that? That is very amazing in such a bad way. That is so stupid. Valentine Holmes. Oh my gosh. So about the bullshit. Someone telling me he left the Giants. Well, he was at the Jets, wasn't he, Mitchell? Wasn't the Giants, was he? That is about the bullshit of Valentine Holmes. The quality of footy is matching the quality of the ref in this match at the least. Yeah, it's not been great quality. First tackle of the Dolphins, and Tom Gilbert now gets his ball to the 50 on second tackle. Penalty to the Dolphins. Penalty to the Dolphins. Big Rig says, what the hell was that, Val? Funface says, the McRib is marketing propaganda. Okay, don't know where this has come from. Andrew says he is still thinking of his NFL days. Yeah, no, that pass was close enough to landing with me here in Kazakhstan. The Dolphins better pick it up. Didn't want to watch BK travel anyway. It's coming, Mitchell. I've just been really sick the last couple of weeks, man. Like, I did plan it for 2 weeks ago, but wasn't able to come out. Like, trust me, I promise you, BK travel will start up. It's just that I've had this cough. It's been really bad for a couple of weeks now, which you're seeing on streams. Like, I'm having to mute all the time to stop coughing. So it's not that it's not coming. It's just that I genuinely have been quite unwell, and I need to live a healthier lifestyle, as well, I have to say. So first tackle now for the Dolphins. They're at 25 at the back here. Farnworth, Selwyn Cobbo now. He'll be taken down at the 15 on second tackle. We got different languages on stream. Watch out. Yeah, that happens. So third tackle now 10 metres away from the line. Max Plath to the right. Here's a chance for the Dolphins. Oh, Finifuyaki's so close. Oh my goodness me. Probably deserved the Dragons to not have to give away a penalty, but they do give away a penalty. Dolphins might take the 2 here. They might. It's going to be soft as, but this is actually pretty good defense there from the Dragons, but Gutho gives away the high tackle. The Dolphins are typically a team who will go for the try in this situation, but the 2 is what most teams would do, and they will go for the try. This is what the Dolphins do. The 2 is what most teams would take there, but the Dolphins are not a team that do that. No, Toby Couchman's out for the rest of the game, Ultra Sigma. Toby Couchman is gone, unfortunately. God bless him. It's going to be Kurt Donahue, who is 3 metres away from the line. Max Plath. It's like a Toa Finifuiaki with a rampaging run, but we take down 4 metres out. Dolphins here, 4 metres away. They give it out the back. They spread it left. Isaka Toa and Nikarima, quick passing. Happy Farmer, Selwyn Cobbo, and he is going to... Oh, he's going to knock the ball on. I tell you what, this Dolphins team, you are ass, bro. You are ass when it comes to the finals. They continuously knock this ball on the left-hand side. They should be blowing the back out of this Dragons team at the moment, but they keep dropping the ball on this left-hand wing, whether it's Kaneli Lemuelu or Selwyn Cobbo. They've made multiple mistakes here today. I don't know why he's not backing himself on the wing there. If you back yourself on the wing there, you are going to score past Moses Suli. Instead, he goes for the most awkward play onto the inside. Dolphins, it's time to go to the right-hand side because the left-hand side attack for you today has been dribble. Yes, Cobbo should have 2 tries to his name, but the left-hand side attack for you today has made meters, but it's also been absolutely dribble. They've made way too many errors, and this is why you are struggling to put this game away. 30 minutes to go here this game, folks. It's 16-10 to the Dolphins. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. If this team knew how to hold a ball here today, they would be up in this game 40 to 50 points to 10 already. 40 to 50 points to 10 already. They've knocked the ball on this left-hand edge so many times so far. So many times. And now 4th tackle with the Dragons. I'll get this ball to the 30. Martel says, I know it only Dragons, but you take the 2 there. David says, all the talking streams can't help. Yeah, I agree. With having a cough, especially when you were doing the World Cup and NRL. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, no, when you do a lot of these streams, it does impact you for sure. Does impact you for sure, man. It's very difficult to get rid of a cough when you are currently streaming as much as we do here, yeah, for sure. Jermaine Sarko now, he'll go to the right-hand side, and he nearly gets away with the 35 on first tackle. That's a penalty. They don't call it, though. And Dolphins, Jack Bostock, he's going to take this ball to the 45 on second tackle. Cobbo, you just have to go over the sideline and go try, 100%. Cobbo's been really poor today. Besides the fact that he's been robbed of a try, he's still been quite poor today. In regards to being clinical is what I should say. He's had some really good moments. Out the left-hand side again. They're going to find Meters again. Nicarima doesn't pass the ball. They'll be at the 30. Farnworth. Underneath, they give it off here to Ray Stone. And Ray Stone is going to be at the 15 on fifth tackle. Do they go to the right or do they go to the left? They go to the short side, left-hand side. Nicarima at the back here. Herbie Farnworth. That's selfish there from Herbie because they probably score if he passes the ball to Samuel Cobbo. This Dolphins team on this left-hand side of attack don't actually know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing on the left-hand side. If Herbie Farnworth passes that ball to Samuel Cobbo, he's actually open and on the wing and will actually score. This left-hand side attack today is blowing my mind. Selwyn Cobbo scores the easiest try of his life, provided he holds the ball, mind you. If Herbie Farnworth passes the ball in that situation, but it's selfish there from Herbie Farnworth, and they don't score because of it. This left-hand side attack today has dominated the Dragons, and they cannot find a way to actually score the try because either they're selfish, they drop the ball. Here's a penalty. I hope the Dragons win today. I hope the Dragons win today because this left-hand side attack for the Dolphins has been shameful. They have been shameful in this game. They have been shameful in this game, this left-hand side attack. They should feel ashamed for how they're playing in this game because you are dominating the living shit out of them and you are getting line break after line break. You are getting offload after offload. You are getting free meter after free meter, and then you'll knock the ball on. You won't pass the ball. You'll pass the ball over the sideline. You'll pass the ball to the grass, or you'll get the bunker take a try away from you because of their own perspective opinion, which wasn't even correct. And now we've got the Dolphins get the ball to 50 after the drag. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind watching this game. I'm going to lose my mind watching this game. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind watching this game. I'm losing my mind. It's gone. Second tackle left the Dolphins at 35. The Dragons lose the ball at halfway point. Like it's, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain aneurysm sometimes, mate. You're right. 6 again of the Dolphins. You watch them knock the ball on the left-hand side of the field today. Watch them do it now. Watch them find a way to get inside the 10 and then knock the ball on the left-hand side. Sniffy Jazz coming. It's coming, don't worry. Second tackle at the 22. Another 6 again. Another 6 again. Dolphins at the 15. I'll see what they do. Let's see what they do. Max Plath. Get it off here to Donahue. Here's the left-hand wing. Heavy Farnworth. He'll cut back on the inside. Gets the offload away. Back to the right-hand side. And now they'll be 5 metres out. Oh, the vape for you, boys. That's all you, mate. That's all you. Left-hand side is Sakatoa, Nicarima. Here we go. Farnworth, Cobbo. They're actually going to score on the left wing. They're actually going to score a try on the left wing. Oh my gosh, they actually did it, lads. They actually did it. They found a way to actually hold the ball on the left wing. So that's a double here. It's a double for Selwyn Cobbo. He actually finally holds the ball, lads. Why do they keep going left? Because that's where they're dominating. This is what the Titans did last week. The Titans dominated the left-hand side attack and the right-hand side defense of the Dragons all day. The Dolphins have been doing the same thing here today, but they keep knocking the ball on or getting selfish or throwing the ball over the sideline or throwing the ball to the grass. They've finally found a way to score. Cobbo should have had 3 tries in this game, but one of them got robbed of him. But the point of the matter is that they should have so many more points in this game, but they keep making mistakes and unearned mistakes too. Awful mistakes too. It's actually been diabolical down this left-hand side. The halftime score I think was it 10-10? Oh, what was it? Oh, 16-10 to the Dolphins. 16-10 Dolphins at halftime. I can't believe it. They can catch the ball. It's amazing stuff, Andrew. It's amazing stuff. And if anyone thinks that we're overreacting in regards to the Dolphins here, their completion rate is below 70%. It's at 66%. So, riddle me that one, Sonny Jim. Riddle me that one, big fella. Riddle me that. $45 minutes to go here to game. And Jermaine Sarko will make the kick. 22-10. 25 minutes to go here to game. Class Dragons 2027. Yeah, that's what you're looking for right now. I genuinely believe. Like this it was never going to be as ugly as last night. This could have been really ugly if the Dolphins actually came to play today. But this is yet again not another statement from them. Sharks have made a statement. The Roosters have made a statement. You're looking for the Panthers, the Warriors, and the Dolphins to make a statement. Dolphins haven't done it. Well, Warriors, you play the Titans tomorrow. Make a statement. Panthers, you play the Raiders. Is it tomorrow or Sunday? Either way, time for you. I think it's tomorrow as well, but you need to make a statement, Penrith. And the Raiders, they're going to keep on winning to make that 8. But the Dolphins will get this ball here to the 15 through Lemuelu. Have they switched sides? I think Finifuiaki and Lemuelu have switched sides here. Need Herbie now. Well, Herbie's been all over the shop here today. Again, they've been making meters on that left-hand wing, but they just keep making mistakes or getting selfish. Shows how bad the Dragons are if Finns are playing on song would be a giddy bomb. Yeah, it probably would be a giddy fitty bomb. And honestly, Nick Arima just got rocked by Setu 2. He just got rocked by Setu 2. Oh, dude, gee whiz. Nick Arima just got absolutely shit rocked. By Setu 2. Dearie me. He got his shit absolutely obliterated, son. Absolutely obliterated. But all right, it's going to be Dragons now, third tackle. Gee, Setu 2's left eye is really opened up. I hope he's all right. God bless him. Does Herbie have money on himself for a try? Something he's having a shocker. Nick Arima's had a shocker, and Farnworth's not been spectacular, but he's still making meters. Currently, Panthers $1.10, Roosters $5 minor premiers. If Panthers lose tomorrow, Roosters are a chance. Of course, they play each other in 2 weeks' time. If Panthers lose either this week or next week, they play each other in 2 weeks' time. And they'll keep that ball up, where it should be an easy one here for Hamiso, and Hamiso does get it at the 12, and it'll be first tackle. Setu 2 mustn't want Cody or something at the club trying to hurt him. Well, Cody's been awful today. He's been just as good for the Dragons as anybody else today. Cubbo getting taken back at the 10. On the second tackle. I think a bare minimum here for the Dolphins is to still win by 13 plus. Otherwise, it's still a disappointment for them. I think a bare minimum is to win this game by 13 plus. Isaiah Katoa, he'll get this ball to the 30 on fourth tackle. Maxi Plath out to Hamiso, and Hamiso, he will get the ball down here at the 30. And fifth tackle, only a 25-meter gain, and not a great kick. Oh, it's actually not a bad kick, but Gutho does get it and bring it out to the 33 on first tackle. Ethan Madeline says, fraud alert on the Waz is rough, I reckon. Waz fan. Nope, you're wrong, because every other Waz fan disagrees with you, because it was the Warriors fans who wanted them to go on fraud alert. It was the Warriors fans here who begged me to put them onto fraud alert. You can ask the Warriors fans here in the chat. They were the ones who wanted it. And also, no, I disagree that it's harsh. At the end of the day, they haven't been playing fantastic footy for a couple of months now. Or at least a month. They haven't been playing fantastic footy for a while now. So no, I disagree. I don't think... Oh, right through the line. No one followed up, and the Dragons will be 22 metres out for tackle. Herbie already had 103 Supercoach. Could have 200 if he played well. Yeah, I 100% agree. Again, he's making plenty of meters and loan breaks and stuff like that. Wise fans petitioned it. Exactly right. The Warriors fans wanted it. So fifth tackle here for the Dragons. They go to the left-hand side. This is all over the shop here. Accidental offside against the Dolphins. Oh, it's Dragons balling at the 10. E4 medalist says, yeah, I feel the whole company's on fraud like that. No, I believe that you're biased towards your club. David says, I'm a diehard fan for the Dragons because of Val Holmes. We're very disappointed. Anyway, I'm tipping the Green Machine to win over the Panthers and Titans over the Warriors. Well, I'd love to say the second one, but I think the Panthers probably do beat the Raiders. Still have the Panthers? Yep. Until, they usually do this at this point of the season. Is that new ref? This is a new ref, yeah. He's not, I think, the new ref that you're referring to, but he is a new ref, yeah. So first tackle here for the Dragons. 5 metres out. I'll reply to that in a second, Josh. I'll reply to that because it's an interesting comment. Second tackle here at the 3. 20 minutes to go of the game here, folks. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Dragons with a chance to get within a converted try. Dylan Egan, 5 metres out, third tackle. 5 metres out. They go to the left-hand side here. Chance. What was that from Flanagan? That was awful. Flanagan at the 5 on 4 tackle. He'll off the check a little. Oh, knock on from the... Oh, he's caught that. He's actually caught... How has he caught that there, Locko? How has Locko caught that ball to the right-hand side? Lycan King to get kicks it through. Dolphins get it. And they'll get the ball to 12 here on first tackle. So Josh says, what's your thoughts on the new kickoff rule that might come in? So we spoke about this before the season started because they were talking about bringing this rule in for this year at the beginning of the year. It just didn't come out. I'm not as against it as everybody else is. I just don't really care too much in terms of it. But I just hate that the fact that they're changing the rules. At the end of the day... I do think there are some interesting strategies and tactics that can come in with this new kickoff rule, but I think most of the time you're going to see a team decide to keep the ball. You know, they want to have the ball. I think 99% of the time you're going to see that. 99% of the time you're going to see the team that concede and say, oh, I want the ball back. Tyrell Sloan gets the ball at the 25. And he'll be taken down at the 25, back to the 20. Yeah, that was a terrible tackle set from the Dragons, Clyde. So, like, I don't really care too much in regards to the rule change, if that is to be the case, but still, I hate the fact that they're constantly changing around the rules as per usual, man, you know what I mean? Third tackle. They're trialling it around 27 Dragons versus Eels. Yeah, they're trialling it in quite a few games that don't have any finals implications. At the very least, they're not involving it in just regular games. Out of the left-hand side. Tyrell Sloan here. They're going to actually score a try. Gutherson's going to score a try here. It's going to be Dragons with on the left-hand wing. Who, honestly, was the one who came in off the sideline here? The Dolphins have been ass today, by the way. Like, if you're a Dolphins fan, you should be raging at your performance here because the Dragons have not played well, by the way. You have just been ass. Like, the Dolphins have just been ass today. The Dragons have not played well here today. You have just been awful to watch here, Dolphins. But it is going to be 22-14. Who's the winger? Who's the winger on this side? Who's the winger? Watch him. Jermaine Sarko. I don't know what on earth Jermaine Sarko's doing. There is no need at all for Jermaine Sarko to come on the inside there. That is horrific defense from Jermaine Sarko. He is making a tackle on a centre where the ball is nowhere even close to him. The pass has already been chucked over the top of Isaka because he's already come well inside when the ball was nowhere close to centre. So Isaka was going to make the inside run on a play that was never, ever, ever getting the ball there. Never, ever, ever. Never, ever, ever, never, ever is the centre getting the ball in that situation because Osako has already made the run on a player where the ball is still 2 players away from. So as soon as that ball gets to the 1 player away from, of course they're just going to cut the play out. Isako's defence there was atrocious. Atrocious. That is a rookie move, fun facts. That is 100% a rookie move. You are scoring 100% of the time when a winger does something like that because you don't even need to think about the centre because he's already covered by the winger. Well, who's covering the winger? Nobody. So Tyrell Sloan gets an easy free pass out to the left-hand side. Dolphins have been so poor today. So poor today. So poor. This is not a genuine contending team. The Dolphins are nowhere close to being a genuine contending team alongside the Panthers or alongside the Roosters or even the Sharks at the moment, where they lost 66-0 to a couple of weeks ago. This Dolphins team is nowhere close to it. They are having their second part of the year for that. They could still lose this game, mind you. They could still lose this game. 16.5 minutes to go here to game. They could still lose this game. And it's not like they're going up against a team that has been unbelievable to watch today. It's actually insane. What is it with these teams in the bottom half of the top 8 right now that are disappointing greatly? So it's going to be the Dragons who are going to be first tackle at the 13. Dolphins did the exact same thing last year with the second half of the season fade out. They do it every year. Every single year so far. They've done it. But this year they still should make the finals. They really should still make it. But my goodness. My goodness. Third tackle now for the Dragons at the 30. Best team in Queensland. Yeah, but that's because all the other teams in Queensland are ass. So 4 tackle here for the Dragons at the 40. And they got to left hand. No one's going to disagree with that, by the way. Like, nobody's going to disagree with it. But that doesn't mean that it's like, oh, Dolphins are amazing. It doesn't mean that at all. And they'll whack this ball away here, the Dragons, where the Dolphins will pick it up at the 20 through 7 Cobbo. Geez, he's slipped over so many times today. He's got to get different boots on. These boots obviously suck because he slipped over a lot today. Herbie Farnworth, he'll get taken down now at 33 on second tackle. Nikarima to Hamiso. Hamiso here to Asako, and Asako now beat the 40 on third tackle. And now to the right-hand side. And now Flegler will beat the 50 on fourth tackle. Finn's got me last year. I backed them big against the Knights 13 plus, and Knights won. Never again. No, fair enough. Lemuelu now to the 40 on fifth tackle. I tell you what, Dolphins, this has not been impressive. You still should be winning this game 13 blows. Especially considering the Dragons usually fall off in the last 20. They've been the better team in the last 5. Tyrell Sloan will be taken down here at the 15 on first tackle. So you cover NFL as well. I haven't been, but, we'll see. Don't you wish they played Friday and Saturday nights over there? It would be awesome to watch NFL on Saturday and Sundays here. It would be, but that's when college football's on. College football's on at that time. Third tackle at 25. Jacob Little to Clint Gutherson. And Setu 2 will be the 35 on fourth tackle. If the Dolphins lose this, they only have themselves to blame. Colin Dragons, absolutely. Well, if the Dragons win this game, it'll really throw a cat amongst the pigeons here. The fact that the Roosters beat the Cows by 80, the Finns should have won by 100. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Cowboys have had that coming for a while. Not to that extent, but it had to come for a while. Cobbo to the 25 on first tackle. I just don't know if the Dolphins truly believe in themselves. I don't know if they actually believe in what they've got to offer. I think they have all this hype, which is great, but then when it comes to actually doing something with it, they disappoint. Second tackle here for the Dolphins. They'll beat the 40. In fact, the Roosters, J-Dawg says, what's the next country to plan on visiting? Not too sure just yet, man. Third tackle at 50. I'm thinking Kyrgyzstan. Looking maybe Uzbekistan or Tajikistan or something like that. Left-hand side here. At the back here to Nikarima. Happy Farnworth. Jeez, he can be selfish sometimes, man. He really can be. Fourth tackle now to 30. Nikarima gets it off to Isaka Toa. Max Plath. And they'll beat the 25. That 2-point penalty would have gone down a tree at the moment. I'll get off here to Isaka Toa. And I'll put this ball up into the air. Nobody even chasing it. And this is what I mean. Like, the Dolphins aren't even chasing the ball. I don't think the Dolphins actually give a shit right now. Like, I'll tell you what. Like, there is nobody chasing the ball. Lemuelu and Finnifiwiaki are not getting any kind of chase on the ball as a back rower. UCLA is winning the Natty. Cheers. Don't know about that. Third tackle out to 15. I tell you what, the Dolphins are pretty glad they're playing the Dolphins. They're the Dragons today. The Dolphins should be glad they've got a soft draw home because... Nice. Feels like the Dolphins just playing slow to kill the clock. I agree. And they'll go out to the left-hand side here. Val Holmes. He's going to go over the sideline. Oh, close to over the sideline anyway. 45 metres out. Fit tackle. He just stays inside. And now they kick this ball down here to the right side. Yeah, the Dragons are finding some good space down that left edge for them. Hamiso, he'll bring this ball out here to the 20. And he'll push away from a couple. He's still going. He'll be taken down now. First tackle at the 20. Do the Dolphins think they win without even playing? Well, it's like at the end of the day, they probably are. They're simply going to win this game, but it's not been an impressive game by them by any stretch of the imagination. Herbie Farnworth to the 40. Like, this hasn't been a statement game. You've got the Sharks having statement games and winning 8 from their last 9. One of them being 66-0 against the Dolphins. You've got the Roosters winning 82-12 and making a statement game whilst winning, 7 out of their last 8 or whatever it is. And then you've got the Dolphins here who are stinking it up in front of us all right now against a team they should be whooping. Hamiso out of the right-hand side. They go quickly. It's Jack Bostock, and Bostock at the 35, fifth tackle. Like, these teams, you can't be a good team and let other good teams make statements whilst you're just plodding along, which is exactly what the Dolphins are doing right now. Hamiso takes it through. Great take from Gutho under a lot of pressure there from Hamiso. That's a fantastic take from Gutho. You cannot allow good teams to be making statements whilst you're struggling, because otherwise you're just giving them the massive leg up in regards to confidence. Penguins are, in fact, falling out the 8 tonight, Dasmo says. Well, maybe they should be. Out of the left-hand side, the Dragons are away here. Dragons are away here. I want you to score. Oh, the Dolphins are going to knock it back. It's going to be Dolphins' ball. He's knocked it backwards. Yeah, they might score here. Isaiah-Katoa's going to pick it up. He's going to run. He's going to run it himself. He gives it across here to Finifuiaki. Finifuiaki's still going. He'll be at the 25 now on first tackle. He knocked it backwards. That's correct. No, that's the correct call. They knocked it backwards. Wasn't a knock on. Flegler's going to run this ball himself now, and he'll be taking out the 20 on second tackle. I ugly lost that ball there, but they didn't notice it. Second tackle was a hard one to pick up. Max Platt to Nikorima. Nikorima now. He'll be at the 15. Go for the field goal, you cats. How's that knocked backwards? 100% that was knocked backwards. 1,000,000%, Casey. That was definitely the right call. Fourth tackle at the 5. He even had to come back closer to his own try line to get the ball. Short ball to Flegler. That's an easy try. That's poor. That's poor there from the Dragons. He's definitely scored that. They're going to check this. Surely it wasn't short. I thought this was a guaranteed try. He's got no try. Grounded short, then lose possession. Surely you didn't ground this short here, Flegler. This is the most guaranteed try of all time. There's no way you've grounded this short. There's no way. No, it's a try. Oh, maybe not. Is that on the line or not? I need to see a better angle. Oh, it's definitely a try. I knew. There's no way he was knocking that ball on. So try time. Half of the ball is over the line. What are we talking about commentary? You can see half of the ball is over the line there. The whole ball ends up going over the line. No shit, Sherlock. So it's a try time over the Dolphins, and it's about to be a 12-point game again. It's about to be 28-16 because right from the post. 10 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button on the, and subscribe if you're new around here. Where's the defenders? Yeah, huge gap there, Brocky. Huge gap. So Tom Flegler, someone called Tom Flegler for a try earlier on today. Someone did call him for a try. I don't know what the ref was looking at there either, does, mate, to be fair. Jador says, hold on. It seems very strange. Pahulu at the Titans was touted as the next big thing and gone to Melbourne and only played one game. He was decent against the Titans as well. Wonder what's going on. I want to say this with all due respect because I love Josiah. I know Josiah, know his family. They're good people, and I want to see them. I want him to be successful, and I want that family to be successful in life for sure. I don't think Josiah is that amazing. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to see him do what the clubs, plural, believed in him. I was never ultimately... I've got to be honest with you guys. I've got to be transparent with you guys, right? So, whilst I wanted the absolute best for Josiah Pahulu, besides maybe his first game ever for the club at the Titans, he wasn't that great in my personal opinion. It's absolutely knocked backwards from Isaiah Katoa. I don't understand why people are booing, and I don't even know... It's gone backwards 5 metres, by the way. Like, it's gone backwards 5 metres. What are we booing? What do you mean the game has gone rigged? He's knocked the ball 5 metres backwards at the Bunnies. It's gone 5 metres backwards. What are we doing? I hope you're not saying the game has gone rigged because of that call. I hope that's not the call that you complain about. The Dragons will get the short kick and they're going to get the ball at the 33 on first tackle. I really hope people aren't complaining about that. The ball's gone 5 metres backwards for Isaiah Katoa. Yeah, in slow motion, definitely backwards. 1,000,000% backwards. It went 5 metres backwards. They're just booing their shit team. No, they're booing the call. Because in the stadium, it's a lot more difficult than it is for us, right? Watching on TV. Oh, I know, because I used to go to all the games and I'd see calls very differently to how they are perceived on... how they're perceived on camera and broadcast, right? 4th tackle now for the Dragons at the 13. You'd like to score a try here to keep themselves in it. Out of the right-hand side, Kyle Flanagan off to... Who is that? It's not Lane Lua, is it? No, I don't even know who that was. Left-hand side, here we go. Chance here. Bostock will get it. It's going to be a drop. Oh, he'll get away. He'll get away. No, good work there from Gutho to lock him down in the in-goal. Good work from Gutho. Who's on fraudulent Sean Newer? Yeah, fraudulent me? What fraudulent me? What do you mean fraudulent me? Who do you believe should be on fraudulent here? Do you think the Dragons will make the top 8 next year? No. No, I do not. I think they'll be better than this year, but no, I do not. 7.5 minutes to go here. I'm sure the Dolphins are going to go for a long one here. They do. Oh, it's an awkward one. At the 30, and it will go for Carl Flanagan. That was an awful dropout. And Ryan Couchman will bring this ball to the 30 on first tackle. So trippy by Katoa. At first, it looked like he knocked it on. I disagree. I never thought he knocked it on. But I didn't see where he knocked it backwards. He knocked it backwards 5 metres, dude. It wasn't even trippy. It was very clearly knocked backwards. Like, at no point was I confused. He very clearly knocked that backwards 5 metres, bro. So third tackle now 5 metres away. Well, I don't think it was trippy at all. Like, he clearly knocks the ball backwards 5 metres. The Dragons now to 15, and they'll be at the 5 through, I think that's Daniel Atkinson, isn't it? 4 tackle. No, that's Halangahu. Out of the right-hand side, Hamish Stewart. He'll get taken down here at the 5. Oh, he's fallen into that one. He's fallen into that one. 6.5 minutes to go here, and the Dragons are just holding the ball. Do something with the Dragons. That was an awful set for the Dragons too. Do you think that's a problem with the club, or what do you think it is? Oh, of course. It's been a problem with the organisation for a long time because mergers never work together. They always believe they know more than the opposition. Mergers never, ever work together. But anyway, this is going to be 6.5 minutes to go here of the game, and the Dragons with the ball. Can they get a chance here? Can they get one final chance to bring themselves back in the game? They go to the left-hand side, like King to Gia. Out of the left, Gutho gives it off to Tyrell Sloan. Has to cut back on the inside, and he'll be taken down to the 5. Do something with it here, Dragons. Do something with it here, Dragons. Val Holmes off to Halangahu, and he's knocked the ball on, and that, my friends, is going to be the game. I don't know what Halangahu's complaining about being held off the ball there, bro. You knocked the ball on, so even if that gets called, you still knocked the ball on, bro. Isako is going to be at the 15 on first tackle. And good run here from Marshall King. Can't get the offload away, though. The Dolphins will be the 25. Hamiso. And they'll bring it out to the 40 on third tackle. Some good meters being made from the Dolphins here. Hamiso to the left-hand side. Nicarima to Herbie Farnworth. And Herbie Farnworth, he will get this ball to the 50. He's not had a great game, Herbie. I know he's made a bucket-load of meters and whatnot, but he hasn't actually had that amazing of a game. Max Platt now to the 40 on fit tackle. Go for a field goal, you cats. So Sakatoa, he will put that ball up in the air. That's just going to be an easy one to take there for Gutherson, though, with a 10. And let's see, chance the arm a little bit here, Dragons. You got no pressure on you. Who do you like to score in the next game, boss? Take your pick of Bulldogs players, man. Like, all the Storm players are out. Harry Grant's not playing. Cameron Munster's not playing. Jerome Hughes not playing. There should be no defensive line for the Storm. They looked weak defensively, even regardless with their best players in. There's no defensive line. They don't really have the attack. Honestly, I'd be taking any of the Bulldogs. You'd be taking the Bulldogs massively. But I also wouldn't be surprised the Bulldogs tank it up and still only win 1 of 12. However, you've got a lot, you got a debutant halfback in that next game, and you've got... Yeah, really. Oh, they've lost the ball. No, it goes backwards, though. This is actually good offloads here. That's knocked backwards, and the Dolphins will get the ball. Oh, my gosh. They're going to challenge this ball. Oh, my goodness me. 4 minutes to go here. The Dragons are getting so lucky with all these calls, and yet they're still not doing anything with it. Ref got a couple of calls wrong and then just looked nervous. Yeah, 100%. Knocked backwards there from Herbie Farnworth. That's fine. And then, yeah, well, we had to zoom in to see what's going on here. It's gone off his legs there. He hasn't even touched it with his arm. Yeah, no, that didn't even touch Lemuela's hands. So this is going to be Nicarima who gets the ball. Successful challenge. Can only Lemuela doesn't even touch the ball here, ref. I guess I can understand how he might have got that wrong, but it's going to be Dolphins ball at the 40. Honey NRL says Salmon has scored 2 or more. Good luck with that. So Storm are bereft of good players. Great conditions to beat the Doggies. Well, it's like the Storm have struggled even with their best players this year, but you're taking their best players out as well. So there's no Xavier Coates, there's no Will Warbrick, there's no Munster, there's no Hughes, there's no Harry Grant. You know, their team is filled of Tyron Wishart, who's off to the Perth Bears next year. I think Toalau was also off next year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. You know, you've got backup winger. You've got Nick Meaney in the team, who's not even playing with them next year. You don't have Alex Katoa. Like, there's a lot of players out for the Storm. Right inside here. And it's going to be a knock-on from the Dolphins. Dolphins, you've been so shit today. I've got to be honest with you. Dolphins have been so shit today. There's no way the Dolphins fans are going to circle jerk this performance. This has been such an ass game from the Dolphins. But unfortunately, luckily for you guys, you've played the Dragons here today. Like, it's actually made me angry watching the Dolphins here today because you should have won this game by dead set, like a similar margin, not to the same level, but you should have won this game by like 60. Like, the Dragons have been awful to watch. You have been, honestly, just as awful to watch. The Dragons might actually score here through Josh Kerr. No, he'll be taken down here at the 15 on third tackle. Like, it's actually angered me watching this game. And it's going to be Dragons on fourth tackle. And the referee's been just as awful, mind you. Fourth tackle here at the 12. I think that's what's put us offside from the start too. Dragons will score a try, Ryan Couchman. I really want the Dragons to win this game. I really, really want them to win this game. Dolphins, you don't even deserve this game. I'll be honest with you. The Dolphins don't even deserve this shit. This has been such a shit game to watch. And the Dolphins have been so ass, man. This just shows that the Dragons have come a long way compared to when they started. These teams have been awful today. Are we watching this? No, I need to calm down. I need to calm down. Bro, what? The only reason this isn't 70 to goddamn nil right now is because the Dolphins have been so bad to watch, man, because they keep making mistakes and they're unforced errors. They're not forced errors. They're not forced errors here. Like, it's not been a great performance here by either team. Oh, no. No. So 2.5 minutes, please win, Dragons. Please, I beg. I beg you to win, Dragons. I beg you to win. The Dolphins don't deserve this. They don't deserve this. They've been so wasteful with their ball today. Please, Dragons, win this game. I'm begging the Dragons to win this game with 2.5 minutes to go. I'm begging. They've actually made me lose my mind today. I'm actually angry at the performance of the Dolphins today. I'm actually angry at it. I'm genuinely angry watching the Dolphins play in this game today. 28-22, come on, Dragons. Come on, Dragons. Please, for the love of the game. I'm in the NRL, I agree. For the love of the game, Dragons, do the job. Get the job done. All right. Come on. Come on, Dragons. Audrey Brisbane says, I watch you because you're better than the commentators on Foxtel. I don't know if this is an amazing stream for commentary, bro, but I am pretty loud with it. I wouldn't say this is the most amazing, like, I wouldn't say this is the best quality right this very second, but I do appreciate your support. You are seeing a genuine reaction to the game, though, even as a fan who doesn't actually really care about the result, but I also love rugby league and I want to see teams have to earn. I want to see quality football. Today has not been quality football from either team, but when you're a fifth place team taking on a team who is in last and has won 2 games all season and you play like this, that's why I want the Dragons to win it. Out of the left-hand side now for the Dragons, and it's Josh Kerr. 4th tackle now. Josh Kerr is going to be at the 50. At the 50, they go to the right-hand side. Jacob Little, back up the middle. Oh, he'll be taken down to the 38 on 5th tackle. Come on, Dragons. Find a way. Find a way. Katoa puts the ball up. Where's the chase? It's caught by the Dolphins. The Dragons. Over the top here for the Dragons. Come on, Dragons. Out to the left. Halangahu catches it. Gets it away. Still moving here. Gets it across. Now knocked back here from the Dragons. Is it still 5th or is that touched? Still last tackle. Tyrell Sloan. He'll get this ball across into Moses Sully. Moses Sully on the right-hand side, the 25. At the 20. He cuts back onto the inside. Sully past them. I can't deal with it. I don't want to watch rugby league anymore, lads. I don't want to watch rugby league. I can't watch it. I cannot watch it. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. We've just seen a guy on 5th tackle run the ball into the line. You can't write it, lads. They're going to challenge this call. I hope that this challenge is successful because Moses Sully running this ball into the line is actually astounding. Ref wave 6 again. Did he? Well, because it didn't come up on the screen. It said 5th tackle. King Tongi is being called off for offside here too. I didn't want to watch him. Tiger Hood with the 49.5, with the $2 donation. Get around here for the 49.5, Tiger Hood. They're going to say that King Tongi is within 10. Well, it's like you're going to call that offside, but you didn't call the Manly one a couple of weeks ago, but sure. Half the team is offside, yeah. Refs debut, by the way. It's not been a good one. Hamish Stewart's required to have both feet behind the kick. Yep, but Ruben Garrick's was clearly a try, though, wasn't it, referees? Ruben Garrick's was an amazing try, though, wasn't it? That's going to be a penalty. Like, it's the right call. I just hate the inconsistency of the call, but it is the right call. It is still the right call to Mundos. 3 donations. Yeah, Tigers had a good day in the old punt. Had a good day in the old punt. Why does no one trust their wings to win on the outside this game? Dude, it's actually amazing to me. A scrappy game this. Callum, neither team's been good. But the Dolphins are expected to be good, and the Dragons are not expected to be good. So you're just sitting here and you're just like, this has been diabolical from the Dolphins, and that's why I'm spewing the Dolphins are going to win, because they're the least deserving team to win this game. When you are a fifth-place team looking for a statement to match the Sharks and to match the Roosters, and yet you put up this absolute dribble, they're so lucky they have the softest run home. It's incredible. They're so lucky. They're so lucky, the Dolphins. Max Plath. Right-hand side now is Sakatoa off to Bostock, and Bostock will beat the 35 now on third tackle. It's going to Golden Point. I don't think so, mate. The Dolphins with the ball at the 35. Max Plath. It's Sakatoa underneath now to Herbie Farnworth, and fourth tackle for him at the 25. They go to the right-hand side. Yeah, Dragons probably don't get the ball back here. They're going to be at the 15 now. Morgan Knowles, Marshall King goes left-hand side. Nicarima, what are you doing, bro? Nicarima has been so bad that... Oh, no. No, end the game. Guys, I'll sing in 10 minutes. Nicarima, you have been awful to watch. Dolphins, I can't believe that you're going to win this game. The fact you're going to make the finals despite these performances right now is astounding. You are nowhere near ready to play the Roosters or the Sharks or even the Panthers when they get rolling. Dolphins, you are nowhere near the team you need to be right now, but you will win it. Cody Nicarima, like, his game today was astoundingly bad. The left-hand side attack... Anyway, we're going to move to the Bulldog Storm game, guys. We're going to move to the Bulldog Storm game. I genuinely preferred watching last night's 82-12 than that rugby league we watched in this game. The rugby league we've just watched between the Dragons and Dolphins was worse rugby league to watch than the 82-12 between the Cowboys and the Roosters just last night. That was absolutely a spectacular dribble fest of a game. We're going to see you in 8 minutes' time for the next one, which is the Bulldogs versus the Storm. So do me a favour, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Hopefully we get a better game out of that one, because that was absolutely mind-blowing, son. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Get off my screen. See you, son. Gee whiz.